We're live on the interwebs.
Hey. Ooh.
Hello, Twitch.
Hello. You can tell we're very high energy today.
Mhm.
How clear my skin looks. Love this lighting.
I'm jealous.
Well, hi everybody. I forgot that I'm supposed to be the one running this. Why is everyone else
That's where
talking?
we're at today.
It's like, have you ever seen that? This is doubly relevant for me. It's like, have you ever seen that picture where it's like the guy in bed and he's like, he wakes up and he's like, I'm late for school. He's like, oh, wait a minute, I'm an adult. I graduated years ago. And he goes back to bed and he's like, wait a minute, I'm the teacher.
Yeah.
Like, not only has that been me actually, but also just now in reference to being the DM. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Soldiers of the Lich Queen. How's it going? Glad you could join us. Happy to see you. I'm Sam, the DM, and we are in the Bone Grinder. We have finally made it there after weeks of buildup.
No, funny enough, Bone Grinder is what they used to call me in high school.
Fun facts. Fun facts. By the way, if we could just compile our fun facts and just like get someone on the channel to just like add them in as captions at the bottom of the screen running across each episode, that'd be great. Just like little chirp happens like back in high school. Fun fact about the cast. And then we just like sprinkle in fake ones, and if the audience can figure out which ones are fake, they get a prize. I don't know. Anyway.
Get that
Get a
Wikipedia
thumbs up.
page started.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm easily distractible this morning, apparently. Why don't we go over to Justin with channel announcements?
No longer muted on OBS. OBS.
Okay.
I almost said IBS.
That's very
That
different.
too.
Mood.
We're a mess today.
Really, we are.
Chill announcements. We're still looking to fill a cast spot on Hearts of Madness, our D&D no longer Pandemonium campaign, because the party didn't do so hot in an illithid colony, so they're like, fuck this, we're going back to the material plane. So let's see what happens when they are totally not being tracked by an illithid colony. So we want to sign up for that campaign. It's Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, and it's now taking place in Faerun, so the Forgotten Realms. So come on out. It's a good time. You can find the applications on Discord. And also, Descent into Avernus comes back tonight after D&D Beyond crashing last Sunday and not working for anybody. So that's exciting. So come watch us play Descent into Avernus and maybe kill a ruling family in Avernus and whatever, Baldur's Gate, that's the name.
Oh, yeah.
And that's 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Other announcements. That's it. Unless Sam wants to talk about his little project.
Still on the way. I found that I'm very slow when I'm working on things. It's just the thing I need to accept. The weekly schedule thing, difficult to handle. So it'll show up when it gets here, but I'm working on it. New episode of Demystifying DMing. Yeah, and I have several others in the pipeline, but also next up, coming soon, will be our first ever DM spotlight interview with our very own Justin.
Who's that?
You. Also, I forgot to mention this to the cast and everybody else. Sorry, but no Soldiers of the Lich Queen next week. I completely forgot. I'm out of town on a work trip, which I got reminded of like the other day at work. I had completely forgotten that I would just like not be home next weekend. So that was fun. Had to shift some things around because I like committed to this in September. So sorry about that. Also,
How dare.
Yeah, I know. Also the weekend of Valentine's Day, just thinking ahead. There will be no Soldiers of the Lich Queen because I will be in Sacramento with 3,000 children.
The perfect Valentine's Day.
Why?
Because I work
What
at a
is-
school and it's a giant
Hell.
overnight 5-day field trip.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Gross.
Good job.
Yikes.
Actually, I don't get paid for this. Anyway.
Even
All
more
that-
yikes.
All that beside the point. I mean, I still get paid, just not specifically for that. I don't get paid more. Anyway, it's a thing. So, I think we're ready to get started. So, to recap, especially for the lovely Raid who is here, hello, thank you for joining us. To recap what has been happening, the party has several things on their plate. They've been very busy in the city of Pyre, and they finally just decided to do something for themselves. They've got a job that they need to get to at some point, going and finding some bandits that stole a truckload of magic items from a wizard while they were en route. But they decided to take a detour and go to the local, ever-changing, constantly shifting, self-rearranging dungeon beneath the city, known as the Bone Grinder. So they descended they got on an elevator and descended down deep into the earth. They saw the giant brass mechanical clockwork structure in front of them, and then they got down to the bottom. As soon as they stepped onto the platform of kind of like an aperture-style door, it opened up, and they could just hear the insides rearranging themselves in front of them. And then they stepped inside. They encountered a group of skeletons, who they managed to defeat, made their way past a trap, and then they have now entered into a fairly large room. It is about like 60 feet by 80 feet, 60 feet wide, 80 feet long. Very large, cavernous room. Again, the Bone Grinder is lit by there's no visible lights, but all of the walls are kind of made of like bands of metal that like fit together, interlocking, and there's like little spaces in between them, and the light seems to emanate from between those. This room has a ledge running around the outside, but then the middle of the room is basically made of these 10-foot by 10-foot squares that appear separate. There's like a gap in between them. And as the party entered into this room, they saw 3 shadows cast on the floor in the center of the room, which then peeled themselves up and rose up off the ground next to each other. And you can see 3 shadows standing next to each other as you entered into the room. And that's where we're going to begin with some initiative.
Woo.
Love that for us.
Or rolling initiative.
Yeah. Well, unless they appear to be aware of you, unless you would like to. Oh, actually, I should back up. Unless you would like to attempt to do something and avoid combat, you may, or initiative. Up to you. What are you doing?
Sid, what are we doing?
I rolled a 10.
There's Sid's answer.
Okay,
Yay.
cool.
Okay. Let me roll for the shadows real quick. Make sure I have it. Wow. Okay. All right.
Roll the 4.
Total.
Yep.
Okay. Shadows don't go last. All right.
How dare you
And
call me out like this.
okay, so we had what did
Yeah.
Sid got a 10? Did Ilvem what did Ilvem
Ilvem's
get?
got a 16.
Okay. Okay. So you all enter into this room. You see these shadows rising up before you. It is very clear that they are hostile towards you. And as you're looking at this room, by the way, I mentioned that the square tiles in the middle that fill the middle of the room, each 10 by 10 section, there's like a gap in between them, and hard to tell. Like you can definitely see like this gap between the plates. You're not sure how far down that goes, but it's like maybe an inch wide. So with that, it looks like the shadows all rise up. They look at you, but you manage to significantly get the jump on, except for Drusilla. So Hannibal, you are up first. I know, not used to that, huh? Okay, they are all about 40 feet away from you. Good talk. Mm-hmm. Ooh, nice. Okay. All right. Also, take your pick: left, right, or center. Okay. Wisdom saving throw. That's a 12. Okay. Does it have an effect otherwise, or is that just it? Okay. So you unleash these conflicting desires within it, but it seems to not take any sort of effect. It's hard to tell if even there was any sort of conflict in there because it's just a featureless dark shadow standing there. There's no features on it to give any indication of thought or desire. Moving it all? Okay. Ilvem, you are up.
Great. So we're doing this then? We're doing that? Yeah? Oh, okay. And I'm gonna cast Bane.
Okay. On all three of them?
Yeah,
That's a charisma saving throw?
it is.
Okay. So left got a 4. Middle got a 7. Right got a 15.
Okay, the 15 saves.
Okay. So 2 of them have been baned.
Please don't hurt me.
All right. Are you moving at all?
No, I'm just gonna I'm gonna get closer to Sid.
Okay. So just like shuffle
Yeah.
a little bit closer
It's
up next to Sid.
Bane, and then do, 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 do.
Okay. So that's that. Sid, you are up.
Okay, I'm going to spend 2 key and summon my arms.
Okay, so 2 glowing giant arms erupt out of Sid's back, ending in long fingers with sharp claw-like fingernails at the end.
And I'm going to, you said they're 40 feet away?
Yep.
Fantastic. I will use my entire speed to get to, we'll say center one.
Okay, run right up into the middle.
Cool. And then I will attack.
All right. Roll it.
That is an unnatural 20.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Sick. Oh wait, no, wrong die. Wrong die. It's a 4. Beep. 4, 5, 6, 7 radiant.
Ooh, okay. So you slash your claws across the front of the shadow, and like even before they impact, you can see just like the light coming off of your arms starts to like sear and burn away the shadow. So like as the claw-like fingernails rake across its body, like it's already been weakened by the light, and there's dispersed like an entire chunk of its chest, and it is looking terrible. It went from looking completely fine and whole to like becoming kind of wispy and hardly even there anymore.
Hot. And that will be my turn.
Okay. That'll bring us to the Shadow's turn. So, the 2 on the sides. Oh, wait, actually, hang on. I forgot to mention. As you ran across all these platforms, by the way, you feel each of them kind of like give way underneath you by like an inch or 2. Just kind of like a as you run across them.
Nervous.
And the shadows on the left and right are going to, they disengage, and then they just sort of like almost like they're being sucked into a vacuum cleaner, just sink down into the cracks between platforms and vanish underneath them. The one in front of you, though, like lunges forward with a hand outstretched towards you. You can tell that like just coming towards you is a little painful for it, just as it comes into the radiant light of your arms. But it is going to attempt a strength drain.
Okay.
That's a 23 to hit.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
All right, so it reaches forward and like it becomes a very sharp contrast the closer it gets to you because it's being illuminated by the light of your arms, but it manages to come up forward and just basically sinks its arm up to the elbow in your stomach, and it's like a shadow version of how your arms work when they stab into somebody. Like there's no physical form there, but it basically just jams its arm in, and you can just feel this cold sensation right up into your core.
Lord.
And you
Lord,
take
oh Lord. This is not good.
13 points of necrotic damage,
Okay.
and your strength is reduced by 4.
Oh no.
And that's on period.
All right, and then that is its turn, and then it is Drusilla's turn.
When I get to
Yay.
0, when I get to 0, I die, right?
Well, you don't, Sid doesn't know that, but
Oh.
I will neither confirm nor deny.
Pray for me. That is all I will say is pray for me.
Okay.
Yikes.
Okay. That will then bring us to Drusilla's turn.
Sid, how you looking? Help us.
Sid probably. I don't know. Like, they look like not super beat up, but very, very, very drained. Like suddenly they look super tired and lethargic.
Okay.
Cool beans. Drew is going to slam her quarterstaff down and summon the bear spirit right beside Sid. So you get 9 temporary hit points.
Cool. I will
And
take that.
well, everyone gets 9 temporary hit points if they're within 30 feet of it. And advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws, as long as you stay within 30 feet of the bear.
All right. Nice.
And
Spiritual bear just appears in the middle of the room.
Wait, so are we all within 30 feet of the bear?
Oh, well, yeah, if you put it between, if you like summon it between you and Sid, then yeah, it'll hit everybody. Also, I think, real quick, Twitch is kind of moving like a slideshow as I'm looking at it.
It's lagging super hard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
having lots of tech issues right now.
Okay. You want us to pause for a minute while you sort that out?
No, it's all
Sure.
good. I don't know how long it will take.
Okay. All right. In that case, Drusilla, do you have anything else to do on your turn?
I mean, I do, but I don't know what to do. So I'm just gonna, I guess, ready an action to hit one of the shadows with quarterstaff if it comes within 5 feet of her.
Okay. In that case, I'll bring us back up to the top of the order with Hannibal.
Look at the same shadow, same thing as before. Insinuation.
Okay. It's the only one you can see, too, so.
Yep. Wisdom save.
All right. So, wisdom saving throw. 6.
Cool. It is incapacitated,
Okay.
and at the end of each of its turns, it takes 1d12 psychic damage, and it can then make another wisdom saving throw. On a success, it ends, and I have to concentrate on that for 1 minute.
Okay. Does it take any damage right now?
No.
Okay, so only at the end of its turn. Got it.
And then bonus action, I'm gonna flip at the bird.
Nice. All right, that'll bring us to Ilvem's turn.
Dope. as my action, I'm gonna kind of like instinctively watching Sid get like chest stabbed by a creepy shadow hand,
Mhm.
am going to pop my wings.
Ooh, that hasn't happened yet.
It's the first time. So it's just kind of like a what the fuck, and then just like these two big angel wings. Just like, whoop, we're here now. What's up? And I'm gonna be like, ah, and I will cast. I'm actually not gonna cast. I'm gonna use my Warlock Pact feature to throw a d6 of healing at Sid to just be like, please don't die. You get 5 points of health back.
Thank you.
Wait, I think. Let me double check. Yes, you get 5 points of health back.
Okay, so
Thank
yeah, you reach out your hand towards Sid, and that glowing golden symbol on the back of your hand appears again, and healing energy fills Sid, and that like cold feeling of dread, like both the emotional feeling of dread and also just like the physical feeling of your insides feeling just colder, fades a little bit as just like this feeling of just like warm sunlight fills you.
Oh yay.
And then
I have a 30-foot fly speed now, so I'm going to probably like pretty like awkwardly get like 15 feet in the air and 15 feet closer to Sid.
all right, so Ilvem, for the first time, wind buffets over towards Hannibal and Drusilla. Hannibal has to like grab onto his hat to make sure it doesn't blow off his head, and takes off into the air, and then they forward. All right, and then is that the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, so that will bring us then to Sid. Sid, at the beginning of your turn, really quick.
I'm about to get bodied.
At the beginning of your turn,
Mhm.
you feel that like the floor underneath you is kind of like, it almost felt like it was on a spring. Like as you shift your weight, it kind of like bobs up and down. And then at the beginning of your turn, it just goes and just falls out from underneath you.
Oh my god, can I move?
You may attempt a dexterity saving throw to catch yourself on one of the platforms around you.
Lord God. Okay. You said a dex save?
Yes.
Okay, 15.
Okay. You manage, like, you hear the click, you feel it start to go, and you just toss yourself to one side, and you manage to, like, monk roll back up onto your feet so you're not prone. And you just see it, just completely drop out. So the space next to you, the 10 by 10 square next to you, is just gone, and just down below, you can see that these platforms appear to be like about this thick, and then there's just nothing underneath them. It's hard to see what's actually holding all of them up.
Oh my god.
And there is just darkness down below you, and you can't tell where the other two shadows are down there in that. But now you may begin your turn.
Okay, so I'm on another platform.
Yes.
And there was a shadow near me.
Yes.
Where is that buddy old boy?
You're basically just like diagonal from it now. It was like in the middle of one of the platform in front of you. So and you're now like back and diagonal from it. So you can kind of just like move in an L shape and get right back up next to it.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so I'm gonna attack that one twice with my arms.
Okay.
That's not good. That's like yeah, that's a 7.
That is going to miss. So you catch yourself after, nearly falling into this giant pit of darkness, and then, a little off balance, just swipe an arm up at it, but it managed to just drift out of the way.
Perfect. Okay, we try again.
All right.
Hey, I will take that. 22.
That does hit, yes.
Fantastic. Okay, I will take that 4 radiant.
Okay, so you again just basically in a repeat of the motion it did to you, where it just like jammed its hand up into your stomach. You take your giant golden glowing hand and just impale it on it, and as the fingers like curl up inside of it, it just like sizzles and evaporates into nothingness
Yay.
as the light from your hand just burns it away.
Fantastic.
Okay, leaving us with 2 left wherever they are.
Wherever
else?
they may be.
Anything else for you?
I'm gonna look up at Ilvem. Wait, you can fly? That'll be my
Shrugs in
turn.
midair. Okay. All right, that'll bring us back to the shadows. And one of them, so Sid, you like come over and slash at this one, or you evaporate this one, and then what's Sid's passive perception?
That is a very good question. What is my passive perception? My passive perception is 13.
Okay, so just out of the corner of your eye, you see movement behind you as from the crack between platforms right behind you, another one just like rises up and tries to get a surprise attack on you, but just barely rolls a 12 on stealth.
Sick.
And does not successfully manage to catch you by surprise, so will not be attacking with advantage.
Sick.
And it's a 17 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay. Sid, the party tank.
Pray for me.
For
everyone pray for me.
11 necrotic damage.
That's not bad.
Lose our wine, Mom.
And 2 more strength damage.
Shadows
I'm
are fun,
alive.
you guys.
Yeah, they are.
Okay,
How's Sid's strength at this point?
Oh, you know, it's a 3.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Yeah, like just you're starting to, it's like your body is starting to feel heavy. Like the movement is difficult. It's just like it feels like it takes so much effort just to get your arms to do what you want them to at this point. However, the arms coming off your back are not at all affected by this.
Fantastic.
You might actually see, like, because of like how hard it is to like, keep your body upright, you might be starting to like lean those arms on the ground to steady yourself. Take any more strength damage and those might just be like holding you up.
Oh, you might die.
This isn't how I want to go, guys. This isn't
Shouldn't
how I
have
want
come to Bone Grinder.
This isn't how I want to go, folks.
This suck for Ilvem if Sid dies.
So that's what we've got. Just the one appears, and the other one is nowhere to be seen for the moment. Which will bring us to Drusilla.
The one of them I imagine needs to take some psychic damage from my 8 insinuation.
That was the one that Sid just killed.
Fuck.
Yeah, because it was the only one visible at the time. So,
Well,
Drusilla, you're up.
Ah! Oh, Jesus. We need to get Sid out of here.
I'm about to get bodied. When you guys can bring me back, right?
Jesus. So, Drusilla, how far is she from Sid?
40 feet.
Oh, damn. Is there a way that I can position myself between Sid and the shadow?
They're kind of like, well, yeah, no, I think they're right up next to each other now because it just attacked. It appeared right behind him.
I don't have 40 feet of movement. Oh my God. I'm going to spend movement and action to just get up to Sid.
Okay, as you do that, What's Drusilla's passive perception?
16.
Okay. You manage to notice, like, as you go, like, running onto the platforms, you see just darkness come up out of one of the platforms next to you, like, between two, like, some of the gaps, and it looks like the other shadow is just waiting for one of you to come past it, and it just pops up. You manage to see it in
Nice.
time, so it's not with surprise, and it will attack you.
Held action.
Bring it, bitch.
A natural 20.
Well, that's an 18. However, this is the one with Bane still on it.
Haha.
So that's a 16.
Yeah, that still hits.
Okay.
Rip.
The
Juice
center one
squished.
What?
also had Bane on it.
Yeah, that's the one that died.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
were you baning it when it was fucking up Sid?
I think it fucked up Sid right before you baned it.
Yep.
No, because I baned first.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I think it rolled like a 24 though, or a 23.
Okay.
So good call. Thank you for keeping me honest. That is 6 points of necrotic damage
Ow, okay.
and strength damage. Only 2 strength damage.
Just not strong, yo.
No one in this party is. No one has a strength above like 10, I think.
I have 14.
Oh, do you?
I have-
Hannibal is Hannibal the strongest member of the party?
Why is Hannibal so buff?
Hannibal's just so beefy.
Honestly.
Hannibal just got like a little bit hotter to Ilvem. It's like,
No,
oh,
please,
are those
Put
muscles?
those words back in your mouth. You put those words back in
I mean,
your mouth.
Hannibal's like 6'5" or something too, so he's
Yeah.
just like this big buff fish man.
I'm not into that, yo. Nah,
I
dude.
mean,
Oh no, I need
Shape
to
of
read.
Water,
I need
anybody?
to
Yeah, I
read.
was gonna say-
Oh god, no.
you have like a party, like a
He's-
channel watch along to Shape of Water, just to get everyone in
Yeah.
the mood for Hannibal.
That's right.
Okay. So that is that happens as you run past it. Hannibal, that pops up basically like 5 feet in front of you
Excellent.
as Drusilla runs past. But then you get past it and you can get over to Sid and the other shadow. What are you doing? Or are you just gonna double move and end? Drusilla.
I double move and then end.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I can't do anything else.
Got it. Okay, so you get over there to the two of them. Also, as you are running, you feel that each of the floor plates just kind of like as you run across each of them. Bring us to Hannibal.
All right. The one that just popped up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use a cantrip and cast Mind Sliver.
Ooh, nice.
Damn.
Intelligence saving throw.
Okay. It got, well, let's see. Well, this is about to be some fun stacking here. So, intelligence saving throw, it got a 10, but then also Bane. Bane works on saving throws, right?
I believe so.
I think so, yes. Well, so I got a 7, actually.
3 psychic damage, and the first time it makes a saving throw before the end of your next turn, it must roll a d4 and subtract the number rolled from the save.
Yeah, okay. So you said 3 psychic damage?
Yep.
So next time it makes a saving throw, it must subtract 2d4 from the saving throw because of Bane and Mind Sliver.
Yeah, and then bonus
Sick.
action. I'm gonna moon it.
Psychic damage to the whole party.
Cool, I'll roll it. 3.
Ugh. Anyway, okay, is that Hannibal? And you said okay, bonus action. All right,
Yeah.
Ilvem, you are up.
I have a question about temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a 2nd level Armor of Agathis up right now.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
and
You still do from last week. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
So-
started. I did it right after I got trapped.
That's right. Temp HP does not stack, so it's you take the higher of the two values.
Okay, cool. Then that means it's my Armor of Agathis.
So, that's right.
fine.
So you're like flying through the air with this like crystalline, like rainbowish armor of ice covering your body.
Yeah, I look dope.
Yeah, like just with the rainbow halo over their head and like these wings and then like ice armor.
I'm glad you're having such a good time while the rest of us are getting fucked down here.
Yeah. Also, like it looks like the shadows only have melee attacks, so Ilvem's just like fuck you.
Yeah. And I think I'm just going to get within melee of the one that's currently fighting Sid,
Okay.
and in like classic Molly Weasley fashion, be like,
Yes.
Not my friend, you bitch. But then just like attack with my rapier.
Okay, roll the attack.
I would love to.
Natural 1.
It is not that, you son of a bitch.
Nice.
It is a 16.
That does hit.
Great. 2 plus 2. It's 4 points of whatever the rapier does, piercing, I think.
Yep.
But then 4 points of radiant as well.
Okay. So, that's right, because when you have your wings out, you do extra radiant damage.
Yeah.
So it's like you stab into it with the rapier, and it's like it doesn't even feel like there's much resistance at all. Like it feels like there's barely anything.
Yeah.
And it feels like the rapier actually does not do as much damage as it should have. However, then like you get a little close, like it's like an extended stab with the rapier, but then you get closer and just like the golden light of your wings gets closer to it, and you can just see it just searing holes in it, as that does way more damage than the rapier did.
Sweet.
Yep. And now it's like pretty much surrounded on 3 sides, or like Ilvem kind of above it, floating above the ground, Sid and then Drusilla all kind of clustered around this one.
And then with my bonus action,
Mm-hmm.
who do I want to do it to? Okay. I just look at Sid and wink, and take a d6 of bardic inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Nice. All right. Sid, your turn.
Okay.
Real
okay.
quick.
Uh-huh.
The floor holds underneath you.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh my God. Okay.
Oh, actually, the floor holds underneath you, and you hear also, and the floor piece that dropped out rises back up and clicks back into place.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to
Disengage and get the fuck out of there.
No, why would I ever do that?
And
going-
don't forget, my d6s are also used, like, can be used for your damage roll as well.
Perfect, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and attack Spooky Boy with my arms.
Okay.
And that will be 24 to hit.
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Okay. I will take that 7 radiant.
Okay. Once again, you just like you can see it getting just burned by the light coming off of Ilvem's wings, and then it like starts to back up away from them to try and get away from the light, and then backs up basically directly into a double stab from both of your arms straight into its back. And Ilvem, you can see like the fingers basically mesh like this coming out its front. And then it just, between the two of you, just like caught between 2 light sources, just burns away into nothingness.
Sick. And then I will use my bonus to spend my last key point and take patient defense.
Okay. All right. And then if that is your turn,
Yes.
that'll bring us to the last remaining shadow, which is right next to Hannibal. So it is going to just kind of drift forward towards him and then reach out. It just kind of like drifts across the ground Dementor style with its arms outstretched in front of it, reaching for Hannibal. And that's a 22, except for -3 from Bane is a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. For 11 points of necrotic damage
Okay.
and 4 points of strength damage.
Ooh.
As it just like basically like it jams its arms like up into your rib cage, but then like they come out, they like, it's like, you know, ghosting through you. So it's like not actually like breaking the skin, but it basically jams its arms up the rib cage and then they come out where your collarbones are, and they just kind of like wrap around your throat for a second before retracting back.
No
Yikes.
thanks.
And you can just feel the life getting sucked out of you.
You
How about
can
we don't?
squeeze harder than that.
Dang, Hannibal's a freak. Okay.
You put those words back in your mouth.
Never.
Nope.
Things I did not want to think about today.
Cool.
Look me hard, a shadow. Anyway.
I changed my mind. Body me. I want out of this.
All right.
Do you delete someone else's account?
That is the end of the last Shadow's turns. That'll bring us back to Drusilla. Drusilla, before your turn begins, the floor holds underneath you.
No, please give way. I want out of here. Please. Please.
All right, you're up. What do you got? There's one shadow. So you just saw Ilvem and Sid basically like tag team just disintegrate this shadow. And now the three of you are standing in the middle of the room, and Hannibal is getting choked by the last remaining one 40 feet back behind you.
God damn it, why is it 40 feet? Sam, don't do this to me. I only have 35 feet. How dare you? Oh, fuck. How's that shadow looking, other than a shadow?
It is. It's not looking bad. It's not looking too bad. It's looking like if it ever has to make a saving throw before before the end of Hannibal's next turn, it's gonna have a real bad time. But
I want to Sacred Flame it so bad.
But consider this. How about Moonbeam?
Do you have it?
I do have it.
Are you gonna Moonbeam it?
Won't that hit
I'm
Hannibal
gonna
though?
Moonbeam.
No, because it's a 10. It's a like 10-foot column.
5 foot.
So 5 foot column.
5 foot
yeah.
radius. Yeah,
She can,
10
like-
foot column.
Yeah, so she can like center it back away from you, so the edge hits just in front of you.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're gonna do?
Yes.
All right. So dexterity saving throw.
I believe it's
give me a
Constitution.
Con
Oh,
saving throw.
Con saving throw. And what is the saving throw on that? What is
14.
14?
Minus 2d4 because of Bane and
Yeah.
Sliver.
You're gonna need it because it got a natural 20, which is not an automatic
Ooh.
success. However, it's gonna need to roll. Let's see Bane and Mind Sliver at work here.
Please.
Okay. All right, that brings it down to 17 from Bane. And then Mind Sliver.
Please.
You got a 16.
Well, it still takes half a 2d10 damage.
Okay.
Radiant. Where's my
I
d10?
was like, can the combined forces of Ilvem and Hannibal overcome a natural 20 saving throw? Because that'd be ridiculous.
It's gonna take half of 14 radiant damage. So
So it takes half of 14, but then it's vulnerable to radiant damage, so it actually takes 14 radiant damage. So Hannibal, these thing's hands are basically like still around your throat when you just like the Thor like Bifrost opens up above it, just like in the sky, and just this descending column of moonlight just drops down onto it. Just this silvery cascade of light. And it like blinds you for a minute. You have to like blink away as just engulfed in this column. And you can see that it's like holding on and like trying to stay still, but you can just see parts of it just melting off and just gradually fading as it made its save, so it's technically holding on, but it just completely overpowers it until like the effect ends and you blink and you still see just like a pair of shadowy hands gripping your throat, but then it just like ends here. Like it's just a pair of hands, like it's like the bit that was outside the moonlight. And then after a second, those fade away and fall off and disappear.
Sick.
And that is all three of the shadows, and combat ends.
Yes. Thank
we need
God.
to get out of here.
I need to rest.
You also, once again, as you entered into this room, you heard this like mechanical rearranging and movement. And as you look behind you again, out the door to this room, you see the elevator directly behind you. It basically seems like as you go through the dungeon of the Bone Grinder, every room you pass by collapses, and you kind of move backwards towards the entrance. So the entrance is always basically at the door to the room you entered into last.
Is the floor still?
As the last shadow dies, you feel like all of the plates that you're standing on kind of like rise up by half an inch and then click into place, and everything just feels a lot more solid. They lose that like springy quality they had.
Perfect.
How does Sid look?
Sid is literally just like using the arms, like just gonna slowly lower himself to the ground and just sort of lay there.
Okay, I'm gonna just like float down to Sid, and pump in my healing hands, which is 4 points of healing, and then also a 2nd level cure wounds.
Ooh.
We did it.
So 4 plus 15 points of healing.
Hey.
Just be like, please, don't do that again. Also, how does everybody else look? Are we good? Anybody want a
Drew
little bit
looks
of
like
healing?
shit.
I cast Healing Word at 2nd level on Drew.
G bless, G bless.
Oh, well. Thematic. You get 6 points of healing.
All right.
Remind me, I need to actually rest to get my strength back, correct?
Yep.
Yes, you do.
Long rest.
Unless someone has
Oh, is it a
lesser
long rest?
restoration. Yep.
Oh, yikesen.
Unless someone has lesser restoration.
Nope.
Nope.
Not I.
Well, how likely do you think it is that we'll come across those again?
Not at all.
Yeah, definitely won't hit us again with that.
Skeletons, shadows, there's probably something else next. Like chickens. A chicken round where we eat and feel better.
A flock of zombie chickens.
A flock of zombie chickens.
All right, well, did we want to keep going?
Yeah.
I think you should get some rest.
Oh,
Do we have time for that? Is that something that everyone's okay with doing?
Wait, you wanna like wait, do you wanna like go to bed here?
No, like leave and go home. Or not home, but to the thing. You know?
I imagine if we leave, this whole thing resets and we have to start it over again.
I'm fine with taking a nap here.
Me too.
Okay, wait. When we say nap, do we mean nap or do we mean like going to bed?
I mean, I will wake up when I wake up.
Yeah.
I
guess.
start laying out my bedroll.
Okay.
Are we just taking a nap here?
And I curl up in my bedroll and go to sleep.
Okay.
I will do the exact same thing.
Because Hannibal needs spell slots.
Okay.
Middle of this room.
She's just standing there like,
Take first watch, I guess.
We're here to grind bones.
Okay. So y'all lay down and get ready to go to bed. Okay.
am I the only one that sees how bad of an idea this is?
Oh no, I'm with you, but we're doing it, I guess.
Sid is already out.
I said, how strong are you? Can we just like take them out while they're sleeping? Like drag them
I
out of here?
am exceptionally average in the strength department.
You're probably stronger than me right now.
Moloch
Grab
will bite.
one of them. Let's go.
Moloch will bite anyone who tries to move Hannibal.
You grab Hannibal. I'll grab Sid. Let's go.
I
Get him outta
really
here.
don't know Hannibal as well as you do.
Just grab him by his feet.
No, you grab him by his feet.
Hannibal is
Listen,
almost
all I'm
twice my
saying is that
size.
if Moloch bites me, Moloch is gonna take 10 cold damage.
Well, then make sure he doesn't bite you.
He looks like he's gonna bite.
Fine. So do
I
we just
mean,
leave
listen,
Hannibal
do you
here
wanna-
then? Get Sid out?
I don't know how well Sid will do with the whole waking up in a place that's not here. I don't know if I need to remind you of this, but like literally like 3-ish days ago, our entire lives were ruined and all of our friends were brutally murdered in front of us. So like there's probably some trauma there still, you know what I mean?
Yes. And how do you think that's going to affect when he wakes up to enemies right above him wanting to kill him because we all decided to take a nap in this fucking place?
Well, why don't you take your 4-hour little meditation and I'll stand watch. I've still got some juice left.
Fine. If we die, it's on you.
I'll accept
And
that.
Drew's gonna turn face away, face towards a wall, back to Ilvem and just
Listen, I'm not the one who laid down and just fell asleep. And then Ilvem's gonna turn his back to Drew and just be like,
Okay, so you all lay down and go to bed. Drusilla's meditating, right?
mm-hmm.
Okay, so Drusilla, you're conscious for this period of time. You would be aware that it's like a little past an hour, maybe into an hour and a half. You're not quite sure on the exact time. It feels like somewhere over an hour. The light in the room, it's like kind of been this cool white light filtering in through all of the like gaps in the metal around you. It suddenly just shifts to red, and the entire complex around you starts to ring like a giant bell, just boing, 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 and like it loud enough like it shakes the floor, and all of you wake up immediately.
Short rest.
And yes, you gain the benefits of a short rest.
I'm using all my hit. I'm using both my artificer hit dice. Yeah, that's it. Do you
that means our
recover?
stack.
Never mind. Answer my own question.
Okay.
It's a long rest for strength, correct?
Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
for any ability score.
But I got all my key back.
Yes, you did.
Got all my key back.
Ooh, nice. I'm back at full health.
I got 12 hit points back. That'll put me exactly back at full because I was at half already.
Woo.
One spell slot back.
No spell slots back for Hannibal though. Wait, I'm a wizard now.
Yeah, you have arcane recovery, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I
that higher
do.
Okay.
I can combined level of 1,
Mm-hmm.
so I can get 1 spell slot back.
Yeah, one first level spell slot.
Cool beans.
All right. Drusilla, as you would be the one awake to when you saw this. So like the room you're in, like starts like.
I was keeping watch.
Oh, were you keeping watch? I thought you went to bed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
No,
both of
I
you
was
would have
just
noticed. Both of
grumpily
you have seen the
doing
change
it.
in the light. Okay, both of you have seen the change in the light. Heard the giant like ringing sound around you. The hallway, like the opening that leads out of this room, the direction you did not go in, is like pulsing between green and like the normal white light at the end over there, which is distinctly noticeable over just like the bright angry red that this room has turned into. And then the entryway is still lit up white.
I told you this was a bad idea.
Sid's gonna get up, pack up the bedroll.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it wants us to continue. Are we doing this?
I now have 3 spell slots, so I'm even more juiced up.
I mean, I still
Save
feel
all of them
tired,
for
but I can probably continue.
What did Drew and Ilvem do?
It was actually really cool. Drew cast this like really amazing spell. I don't know if she's gonna be able to do it again, but it was so cool. It like shook the whole room and made like a bunch of flashy lights. I've never seen anything like it before.
Just for context, real quick, that ringing sound is continuing, so you're having to like shout over it as it's like.
I don't think Drew is doing that.
She is. She definitely is.
No.
Are we going? Are we not going?
You're going back to the, what is it called? Onyx Cat?
No, we're going forward. Let's go forward, everybody. Boop boop boop
I mean-
boop boop.
If Hannibal's going, I feel like I have to go to make sure he doesn't die.
Thank you, Ilvem. You and I wanted to come here for so long.
Also that, but I was trying to make it sound like I was a better person, but I'm also just really curious.
Thank you.
If we go any further, Sid could literally die.
So could any of us if you think about it.
I'd rather not have to bring a dead body out of here.
Will it make you feel better if I promise to go on the defensive?
Said.
I can play tank.
Said. What's your dexterity modifier?
What is my dex mod? 3.
What's your AC?
14. I don't wear armor because I'm
I
on.
touch Sid and cast mage armor.
Ah, okay.
So your AC becomes 13 plus your dex modifier. So
Oh, rad.
it's-
Thank you.
And that's for 8 hours.
All right.
Wait, does that take away my bonuses
No.
for no armor?
No, because it doesn't actually count as armor. I think. Let me see.
It's just magical.
Yeah, it's a protective magical force.
Sick.
It does not count as wearing armor.
Sick. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
for
the
8
spell
hours?
it ends if you put on armor, but it does not actually count as armor. Monks can wear mage armor.
See, we're
Sick.
fine, everyone. Everyone is fine.
So yeah, Hannibal reaches out, and then just like this translucent, shimmering, like aura of force appears around you.
Sick.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you. Sid's gonna
See.
turn to Drew. If anything goes sideways, we'll bounce.
Real quick,
Uh-oh.
Drusilla and Ilvem. Actually, Hannibal, you would notice this, but you wouldn't have the context for it.
Cool.
You notice that when you cast mage armor on someone, it normally sticks very close to them,
Yes.
and it like basically makes it look. It kind of just for a second makes it look like they're kind of just like shiny plastic because it's just like their whole body just gets kind of shiny before it fades away for a second right after you cast it. You notice that it's like not directly on Sid. It's like extended out a little bit. And Drusilla and Ilvem would recognize that like weird larger aura around Sid that you saw in the like magical detection room. You see that again, and the mage armor is sort of like built around that shape as opposed to clinging directly to Sid's body.
Cool.
Neat.
But yeah.
Sick.
And again, the whole room just boing, boing, boing. Seems to be speeding up actually a little bit.
I feel like we need to get out of this room or we're going to die. Get crushed in it or something when it changes. 'Cause I feel like it
Okay.
might collapse like the other one did.
I agree. Time to move. And Sid's gonna walk to the next room.
Okay. So you walk forward, you get in as soon as you pass through that doorway into the hallway ahead of you that was glowing green or switching between green and white, the red light behind you switches back to white and then the ringing sound ends. And
Cool.
you keep going forward.
Yes.
Cautiously.
Okay. As you continue forward, you hear that grinding, clanking, rearranging sound of massive clockwork as when you look back again, entrance right behind you.
I'm gonna make sure nothing jumps out at us. I'm just gonna keep scanning, looking around.
Okay. So you're keeping an eye out, and you're probably the first one to notice as you're like intently listening. For a second, you think that the like place is still rearranging around you, but the more you walk forward through this like winding hallway, it starts to go like around corners and basically take kind of like a repeated like jagged serpentine pattern, basically like continuously cornering and cornering and cornering.
Okay.
You start to hear loud, like that rearranging, clanking mechanical sound, just louder and louder and louder until you notice that it's not stopping. And then eventually you come to a just long stretch of hallway where you come around a corner. And for a second, it looks like it just dead ends before it opens. And then you see the next section close, and then it opens, and then you see something else behind it just close, and then another section behind it close this way, and then the one in the front shuts, and then you can just see these just chompy, crushy hallway of just different sections of the walls just closing and slamming together before reopening.
Everyone, that doesn't look fun.
And at no point can you see directly all the way through to the other side, because like at some point there, it looks like there's a section that should open up, but before it does, the first one closes again.
So, timing is everything for this part, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing I can slow down time with my mind.
I mean, I would say that if you had the slow spell, I would allow you to apply it here, but...
Well, that's really interesting, and I'm just gonna go for it.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So you're just gonna... Also, I think your wings are gone.
Yeah,
at this
they're
point,
gone.
right?
It's only a minute.
Okay.
And also, my armor of Agathis would be done too if we went over an hour.
Yeah. But you got the spell slot back, so... All right. So, yeah, you can head forward. So, I'm going to just ask, what is Ilvem's approach to getting through this choppy, crushy hallway?
It's pretty like performance based, you know? Like it's a lot of like like very like spy movie, very like Bard retelling a tale of like a dexterous hero, you know, like hopping from tables and doing a lot of like it's like, yeah, it's pretty.
You know what? You know what? I will say, roll me a performance check.
Oh,
This does make sense. I will explain. I'll explain how as you do it. I do that. This does actually make some sense.
13.
Okay, so you go up to it and you like stand for a second. As you're approaching, and you listen and you hear like the chomping and crushing sounds, and you notice that there's a rhythm to it. It's a repeated pattern, and you can like, oh, wait a minute. It's like music. It's like moving through this. There's a rhythm. There's steps. It's like a dance. So using your experience with music, you manage to get the timing, and you don't even have to necessarily look or think. It's you kind of can listen for what the timing is, and as soon as the first one opens, you all watch as Ilvem basically just starts dancing dances into the first spot, and then before the next one even starts opening, they're already moving forward, and basically just as they get to that spot, the next one opens and they're in the next place, and then just keeps, moving with the rhythm and dancing forward and forward and forward, and then eventually the first ones close again, and you all lose sight of Ilvem. But Ilvem, you manage to dance your way through and get to the other side, and the last one's closed behind you, and you are in the hallway, and the hallway has continued chomping and crushing.
That was good, but I think I can do one better, everyone. I take out
Don't hurt yourself.
I take out a stick of butter,
Okay.
and I'm like, I squish it against my coat.
Okay.
Will you allow me to
Yeah.
cast grease on myself?
Okay, sure, yeah.
Oh
Okay.
god.
I cast
please
grease on
no.
myself,
All right.
Yikes.
and I'm gonna run and see if
Okay.
I can slide the entire length.
I want to say, all right,
God,
Mhm.
please.
make me an acrobatics check.
Before doing that, I give Moloch to Drusilla,
Okay.
This is what the bad-
and I sprint and slide acrobatics.
Yep.
15.
Okay. So you run forward and slide. The timing just happens to work out.
Yes.
But you just with the grease spell, you're like supernaturally slippery. So you just like penguin slide forward on your belly. And like as the first one opens, you slide forward and you basically just manage to get the velocity right. So that because it seems that basically there's always a space open throughout it. Like you don't need to time it terribly well. There's just like it's almost like thinking about it as a space moving through this hallway. You just go at the exact speed that there is an open space and just keep sliding as like doors open, like walls and sections just keep opening in front of you.
Hell
So
yeah.
Ilvem, you're standing there waiting for the other ones to come out, and like the next one opens, you don't see anyone at first, and you look down and just see Hannibal just penguin slide out, and then keep going for a bit before finally coming to a rest. Like you kind of like it. The hallway turns again at the end, so you have to like catch yourself against the other wall, but you
Done.
make it through.
Solid 10.
Yes.
Why are you so slimy?
I cast grease on myself.
Cool.
It's
Okay.
very good for social encounters. Who's next?
Drusilla and Sid.
Sid's gonna turn to Drew. Any particular way you want to do this?
Is there any grease left on the floor from Hannibal's
Maybe a little
sliding?
bit. Maybe a little bit. Maybe might have left like a snail slime trail.
Oh, love it. Love that for us. Is there enough room for 2 people to go side by side when they open, or is
Yeah.
it single file?
No, it looks like 2 people go side by side. Yeah.
How quick are you?
Decently quick.
Okay. Want me to go first? Are you okay with Moloch?
I'm fine with Moloch.
Okay. Sid's going to approach sort of the first one.
Mm-hmm.
It's opening and closing, and take a minute and just sort of breathe and try to like sync up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like Sid has definitely done that thing before, like from Legend of Korra, where it's like the wind thing and it's
Mhm.
spinning and you just sort of become one with it. And he's gonna do some fancy acrobatics and just sort of try to
Okay.
lead the way through for Drew.
Sorry, is Drew trying to follow right after you, or are you going like one and then the other?
Did you want to go like one and then the other?
I was gonna go one and then the other, but Drew's
Okay,
not
yeah,
doing
no.
anything fancy, so
Okay, yeah, we can go one then the other.
Okay, so then you roll the acrobatics check.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Why did you have to say that? Why did you need to do that? That's a 10.
Okay. So you start making your way through and you're like doing your acrobatics. However, the strength reduction is really getting to you. And it's less that like it's like you're trying to try to do like a fancy side flip,
Mhm.
but you just like don't have the strength to get all the way over. So like for one of them, you like side flip out of the way, but you only make it halfway through and land like sideways on the floor and have to like scramble out of the way from the next one. And you don't get like crushed between 2, but like there is a point where you like roll up against a wall, and as you're getting up, it starts to move and like bludgeons into you from the side, and you manage to roll out, but you're getting like buffeted around by them like side to side as you come
We're
through.
big pinball.
It's like that guy in America's Got Talent who tried to do the backflip and he like face plants on the stage. It's like,
Yep.
Great video, by the way.
So you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
And
That's not
so
bad.
Hannibal and Ilvem, you're standing there and you just see like Sid by the end, Sid is just trying to like run through basically. Like
I
acrobatics.
tried.
Says ow, 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 ow. And just eventually just kind of like falls forward onto the hallway. Just like
It's just gonna lay there.
Okay. And Drusilla, you are left with just you.
and the dog.
Yes.
How long are these things staying open for?
It's a pretty good because it's like the first one stays open, and then it's like the fourth when like the fifth one closes is when the first one also closes. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 closes again.
Does Drusilla have enough time to just calmly walk through them?
You could, yeah.
That's what she's gonna do. She's
Alright.
just gonna
Oh,
walk through them.
Make me a
Holding
wisdom
the
check,
dog.
please.
Oh shit, I ain't good at those.
Wisdom? You're a druid.
Oh, never mind. Wrong character. Wrong
Okay.
character.
Natural 1.
16.
All right.
Sick.
You just
She's the
take
grandmother.
you just like take a centering breath, realize that there's a lot of noise here, a lot of like crushing metallic clamping sounds, and it looks very scary. But yeah, you look at it and you're just like, there's just plenty of time here. This is not, you don't need to rush through this. You just need to walk. And it's like, first one opens, you just walk forward. Second one opens, you walk forward. Third one opens, you walk. There's no pattern to analyze. Like they go in a very predictable way. So you just like slowly just walk forward as it opens up in front of you. And the rest of you turn around and just see Drusilla just holding Moloch, just stroll out the other side. Much more. It was more like you realize, it's like, yeah, this was just intimidating and like freaks you out. If you just calm down and just walk through, you'll be fine.
I'll take my dog back now, please. Thank you.
Hand him over.
Okay.
Back
He's
in the
just like
hood.
groaning on the ground. Drusilla's like, what? Like it's hard?
Right? Like, rip to you, but I'm different.
And then you hear, as Drusilla comes out, you hear all of them just close, 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 like gung, 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 gung. And then all of them, like in a ripple motion, open, just. And then as you turn around and look back, the entrance is right behind you.
What a pretty melody.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah, sure, that was fun.
It was lots of fun. I had a good slide. I went, ooh, I can hear.
Okay. And then, yeah, the hallway turns and continues onward.
I'll take the lead, and I'm gonna take the lead.
Second.
Third.
Yes, I'll take the rear, Sid says as he struggles to get up.
All right. So you
Also, I'm gonna
continue-
recast Armor of Agathis.
Okay. So that opalescent armor of ice appears all over Ilvem again. And all right, you continue forward. Eventually, you come to another doorway leading into a room. This one looks a bit more decorated than the other ones, and it also appears to dead end. So you do not see a door exiting from this room. You can see that it's a 2-level room. Basically, it's like the side closer to you is lower down, and then the other side of the room is raised up by 15 feet with a 10-foot staircase running up the middle, kind of flanked by pillars and ledges. At the far end of the room, you can see what appears to be a sarcophagus, some kind of stone coffin type thing set into the metal floor, like clamped into place. You can actually see like these circular, almost look like hooks that look like they rotated out of the floor and are sunk into the snow and holding it down. And then flanking it on either side in the back of the room, you can see what looks to be more like an upright sarcophagus of a full-size minotaur standing with their arms crossed like this, inlaid in brass into the wall on the left and right.
Can I make direct eye contact with Drew and just be like, we're in danger?
Hannibal is going to approach the sarcophagus on the floor.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Well,
so
don't
you
touch
walk.
anything.
I'm
You
not
walk into
going
the
to
room.
touch anything. I just want to look.
So you walk into the room, you go up the stairs, you get up into the second floor, and you can see the sarcophagus is laid out sideways in front of you.
Okay.
You can see a fairly large purple gem set into the top of it, and then with almost like a sunburst pattern, like a wavy sunburst pattern coming outward from it.
Could I possibly see if it's trapped in any way? That it might activate something, awaken something?
Make me an investigation check.
Ruh-roh. Oh, wait. Natural 20.
Okay.
Plus 2. 22.
Okay. So you get very close, and you manage to like do this inspection. You get very, very close to it without actually touching anything and inspecting around. You look around, like you can see that the lid of the sarcophagus is appears to be held down, and like just peeking in, you can see little metal mechanisms inside of it that appear to have like latched into the lid and are holding it shut. But it does appear that there are definitely mechanisms and like pressure plates and other things that will sense something touching this. But it does appear that for the moment it is latched shut. Also looking around, you do not see an exit from this room. It appears that you have reached the end of your first run in the Bone Grinder. However, you were told and promised that the Bone Grinder had treasure in it.
Yeah.
You would guess, just investigating this, especially with a natural 20, you're like, yep, treasure's in there.
Cool. I step back 30 feet or so
Okay.
without going down the stairs, however far back I can go.
Okay, so it's like 15 feet to the top,
Cool.
to the front of the
He
stairs.
goes back 15 feet and goes, I found the treasure, mage hand.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to pry that gem out with the mage hand.
All right. It is set like hard into the stone. It's going to take some time, but you put the mage hand on it and press down, and you can just hear, like, as you start like pressing it and touching it, you just hear like a, and then the fronts of the two brass minotaur sarcophagi, you hear them just grind off with a, and then sink down into the floor. And then inside, you see, fitting perfectly inside of them, almost as if it was like molded to them, two minotaur skeletons wearing remnants of brass armor, both with their arms crossed, and each one holding a fairly good-sized great axe. And as the door comes down and they're standing there, you can just see a pair of blue, like flame-like flickering lights appear in their eye sockets, and they both take a step forward out of their sarcophagus.
I go down the stairs.
Okay, roll initiative. And once again, entrance to the room is the entrance to the bone grinder again, right behind.
11.
All right.
Oh, that was bullshit.
Boy, howdy. I will take that 22.
I got a dirty 20.
Okay.
Hot.
Hang on to those for just a second as we get into the final fight of your first run in the bone grinder.
And they're only
Remember, all we have to do is live.
Yeah.
Living is the hardest part.
It really is, huh?
To quote not Hannibal, Hamilton, dying is easy, living is harder.
All right. So who got the 25 to 20?
Yeah, that's 22.
20.
Okay. 20 to 15.
17. But it was almost a natural 20. It like landed on the 20 and it was just like, what if I move to a 14 instead? And I was like, yeah, what if you do that?
All right. 15 to 10.
11.
Okay. All right, that accounts for everybody. So the order is, we have Sid up first. You're like a good, you're a good like 60 feet from the far side of the room.
60 feet?
Yeah, the top, it's like the back half of the room, like the second floor part of the room is like 30 feet long, and then it's like 30 feet up to the staircase.
Oh, I'm far away.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you're Hannibal is in like the dead center of the room, about 30 feet from the two skeletons.
Okay. Sorry, so how far away is the nearest skeleton?
60 feet from you.
60 feet. Okay, I'm gonna move 40 feet.
Okay. So you pass Hannibal as you go up the stairs.
Cool. I'm gonna get within 20 of one of them. I'm gonna take out my spear.
Okay.
And I'm gonna throw it.
Okay.
This is
That's
how we
cocked.
do it.
This is how we do it. Oh, come on.
This
Really?
is how we die.
7.
7. Okay. So Hannibal, you're standing there, you see these two things open, and then Sid just runs up past you and like takes out the spear and does like a running javelin throw and hucks the spear forward. And did you throw it the left or the right?
Let's say I went left.
All right, so you throw out the one on the left, and it's like, looks like it's flying forward as this thing is coming out of its sarcophagus, but then it just kind of fluidly moves to the side, and the spear just, you hear a grinding noise as the spear just kind of sinks into the brass behind it, and then it leans to the side, and then just turns and looks right at Sid.
Okay, perfect. So bonus arms.
Okay. Big arms.
And that will be it.
Okay. That'll bring us to Drusilla.
Oh, God, no. Blue flame? Not good memories associated with blue flames right now.
Yeah, it's a different kind of blue. It's like, it's barely blue. It's like more like gray with just like a little bit of a blue tint.
Okay, so not the fun times we had earlier, but still not fun times at all.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna move up 35 feet.
Okay.
And that would place one of the skeletons within 30 feet of her.
Correct.
Would it place the one that Sid tried to attack within 30 feet of her? If she
Mhm.
moves up, like kind of. Okay. Thorn whip at that one.
Nice.
Sick. Fuck it up, Drew.
This worked before. Please. God. Please. No. Math. Quick maths. 13.
Yes, that does. It does. These are big, slow-moving things, so it looks like they are not that good at getting out of the way of attacks.
Hot.
G bless. So it's gonna take 2 damage and
Okay.
get 10 feet closer, preferably towards Drew and not Sid.
Okay. So you reach forward with a thorn whip, and it like shoots forward and wraps around like its spine and rib cage a few times, and you yank forward. You can see it like scratch the bones a little bit, and it takes like a giant step forward as you yank it towards you. All right,
It's my
anything
turn.
else?
It's my turn.
Okay. And Ilvem, you're up.
Great. I am going to move 30 feet towards the one that isn't occupied by Drew and Sid.
Okay, so you get up basically right next to Hannibal at the top of the stairs.
Okay. And then I'm going to pew Eldritch Blast the bitch.
All right.
Classic.
Natural 20.
Nice. What is Ilvem's Eldritch Blast look like?
So the little like mark thing glows again.
Mhm.
And like the beam that shoots out is very like Northern Lights, like Aurora-esque, you know?
Mhm.
Very like color shifty and just like it's gay. It looks pretty gay. I don't know, not to be
Icon.
homophobic, but it's gay.
All right.
Icon.
But dope. So that's 12 points of force damage.
Nice. Okay. As you just shoot this rainbow aurora beam straight at it and just hit it right in the cow skull. Just knock its head back, and you hear its horns like ring it back against the metal behind it, and it shakes its head and then looks forward towards you. Anything else?
I would like to draw my rapier.
Okay.
And then I will bonus action. I'm gonna like look to Hannibal and be like, what am I gonna say? I'm just gonna be like, let's see who can break the skeleton first. And that'll be like my bardic inspiration.
Very nice. Okay. So Hannibal, you get a D6 of bardic inspiration.
Excellent.
All right. Then we go to the left skeleton, not to be confused with left shark.
Left shark.
Bringing back that way old meme. Okay. So Drusilla, it was looking towards Sid, and it was like about to take a step towards Sid, but then you yanked it in your direction. It just is going to continue that momentum. So you like pulled it towards you,
Ruh-roh.
and had to take a giant stumbling step forward, but rather than trying to stop itself, it just keeps going. And as the Thornwick retracts, it just starts charging towards you and lowers its head. And he's
Bring
going
it,
to
bitch!
try a charging gore attack against you.
Bring it, bitch!
All right. For a natural
Yeah.
20.
Woohoo!
Sam!
Oh boy.
Bring it, bitch!
Oh boy.
Sail.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's not good.
That's all right.
Sail.
Who let Drew be the tank, yo?
Drew.
Literally
Drew.
just thinking that I thought it was hilarious that the support casters are like, yeah, we're tanks.
What's Drew's total health?
Oh no, I don't
Total?
like that question.
27.
Okay, this doesn't outright kill you. You take 35 points of damage.
Counterpoint. No.
So you yank it forward, it just charges right at you, and you're just like, oh, I didn't think this through. And you all see one of it, like turns to the side, you all see one of its horns go through Drusilla's stomach and come out her back. She actually gets lifted up onto its head as it stops moving, and you can just see Drusilla impaled on one of its horns, and it just knocks its head forward, and she just goes tumbling and skidding down, like tumbling down the stairs.
Oh, why am I
basically.
laughing?
And just is laying there, and you can just see blood, like she's laying there but just sprawled out halfway down the set of stairs, and you can see blood just trickling down the steps.
Rip.
And Drusilla is, I believe, unconscious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
No.
Rip.
yeah, she's fine. She's fine.
Yeah, crit on a gore attack. That was that wasn't good.
I imagine this isn't like the first time she's been hurt by like an animal type thing. Like she
Yeah,
went to
but
the forest.
It's the first time you've been impaled.
You know, funny
I mean-
enough, not the first time I've been impaled though.
I mean,
Sorry, just trying to
Seems-
lighten the mood here because we're about to lose Drusilla.
So
I haven't even got
that's
the shore flower crown off. Don't kill me now, please.
that is its turn. It ends its turn pretty much right next to Sid.
Wait, like right next to me?
There's a little bit of space between it, but it's within the reach of your arms, definitely.
Okay, so wait, is it within 10 feet or 5 feet?
It'd be within 10 feet.
Damn it. Okay.
Because Drusilla moved slightly up past you because of her. Oh wait.
I would be 5 feet behind Sid because.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. So it would. Yeah. So it would have passed you to get to Drusilla.
So, Sentinel?
Yes. Yeah.
Hey. What's good? Okay. No, that's not good. What's good? Not that. Oh, 14.
Yeah, that hits.
Yes. Okay.
Fuck him up, Sid.
4, 5, 6, 7 radiant.
Okay. So it rushes up and it impales Drusilla and sends her sprawling down the stairs. Then immediately, as a reaction, you turn around and just jam your claws into its back, and it rears up and then turns down and looks at you, making it Hannibal's turn.
Firebolt on the one that is standing over Drew.
Okay, well, Drew got sent sailing down the stairs,
True.
so Drew is safely removed
Well,
from the situation.
Firebolt on that one anyway.
Okay, because the gore attack actually, or the charge attack actually does send you flying 10 feet back.
So I'm gonna
You're just unconscious, so you fail the saving throw.
roll a mode to fire at it.
All right, roll it.
Dirty 20.
That does hit.
4. Oh, balls. 2 points of fire damage.
Okay, so it hits it and it like knocks into one of its horns, and it basically does not even seem to have necessarily noticed as much, and is still focused down on Sid.
Bonus action. Hey, ugly! That's my turn.
Okay. All right, right, Minotaur skeleton.
Yep.
The only one that is engaged with that one is Ilvem. So it like puts its hands on either side of its sarcophagus and stepping out and lunges itself forward as it drops its head and does a horn charge towards Ilvem.
Natural 20.
Stop.
You put those words back in your
I'm
mouth.
the only other person who has healing spells.
Yeah,
Justin.
stop.
I have healing spells,
Yeah, he's got
Oh.
healing word.
but I have no spell
Never
slots.
mind. Oh,
Ah!
shut up.
Well, it's not a crit, but it is a 25.
Yeah, I mean that'll hit me.
Did you put Armor of Agathis back up, though?
I did.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
good. So that's 8, 12.
Please stop rolling. Please
It's
stop.
only it's 15 points of piercing damage.
Great.
And then how much cold damage does it take?
It takes 5.
Okay. So it charges into you. You manage to like put your hands on its like on either side of its horns, so it doesn't go all the way through. You manage to stop it. It cracks and pierces through the armor of Agathis, which shatters off of you. But then all of the ice shards, as they break off, like stop moving and then fly in towards it and embed themselves in its skeletal form and it takes that cold damage. I need you to make me a strength saving throw.
I would love to do that for you.
Ruh-roh.
And guess who doesn't have the bear up because fucking dead, yo.
Stop! Don't say that. You're not dead yet.
Just a straight 16.
Okay, so it like tosses its head and tries to throw you back, but you manage to brace your arms against it and like absorb the motion and stay standing right in front of it.
It's like, not today, my good bitch.
Mhm. Bringing us back up to Sid.
Oh my god, I want to keep this Minotaur on me completely. So, where is who? Oh my god, who, as far as my party, is near me, and how far away are they?
Hannibal is probably like 10 feet behind you, and then Ilvem is off to the right, engaged with the other Minotaur.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to
Two elves, one minotaur.
That's right.
Okay, I'm gonna slap this bitch.
Okay.
I hate that. 12's 1 minotaur.
That's the dirty 20.
That does hit.
5 radiant.
Okay.
Hit it again. Okay. 24.
Oh yeah.
7 radiant.
Okay.
And I will spend a key point and flurry of blows.
Okay. Quick note, technically speaking, you do need to declare the flurry of blows before you take the bonus action attack.
Oh, I apologize.
It's fine. It's really confusing, but it takes the bonus action and turns it into 2 attacks. So like it's to prevent being like, oh, since I missed that one, then I'll add on another one. So it's like, oh, this is going to be 2, not just 1, but it's fine.
So wait, so does that mean I only get 1 more?
No, go ahead. Still, you can still, well, yes, you only get 1 more attack, yeah, because it takes the bonus action and turns it into 2 instead of 1.
Oh, okay, I got
Yeah.
you. Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, so I will attack once more.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
Oof. Okay.
We're just gonna forget that happened. And
So
just
like
continue on with our day.
you're looking up at this giant minotaur skeleton in front of you, and you're like wailing on it with your claws and stabbing and slashing into it and making good progress. And then like you try to go for a low blow, but it like lifts up one of its hooves and just stomps it down on the middle of your hand and traps it underneath it for a second.
Ruh-roh.
Fantastic.
It's like, there's an experiment where like if you take like a fake arm and a real arm and put them next to each other and like hide your view of your real arm and like hit the fake one with a hammer, you feel it. It's like that for a second. Like, you feel like a sharp pain in the palm of your hand before you realize like that's not your actual hand.
That'll be my turn.
Okay. All right. Drusilla, death saving throw.
Don't roll a natural 1.
Stop.
I said don't.
I need you to stop.
You're putting out bad vibes, and
I don't need this energy in my life right now.
G-Blast, come on. That's 6.
1 failure.
Yeah.
So Drusilla's looking paler. Ladies are sprawled down on the stairs. Ilvem, you're up.
Okay, 2 things. How close am I to Drusilla in feet?
Like 15.
Dope. Second thing, does the radiant damage that Sid's doing or the force damage that I did look like it like did anything special?
No.
Okay. Cool. Then I am going to just kind of like look back at Drew and be like, come on, Drew, you could get up and cast Healing Word.
Okay.
Great. That's 4 points of healing back to you.
G bless, G bless.
So Drusilla, you like suddenly gasp in breath as you wake up. You can feel the cold metal step up against your face, and you're like, head down, feet up, like on the stairs, just like
the way I
sprawled
like
out
'em.
very sore and bruised, and you wake up as the hole in your through your stomach is closing back up. It's still very tender and pink and not completely healed, but enough to keep your insides on the inside.
I caught that joke.
Thank you.
So that was my bonus action, and then as my action, I am going to cast my sword burst cantrip.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna be like, dodge this one, ugly, and then just like
Hey.
like a circle of just like cool looking slashy swords come like circling around me, and it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It got a 14.
That saves. It dodged it.
Okay. So it's more like it brings its great axe up in front of it and like uses the flat to block its front, and it just all of the blades just cling 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 slash up into the side and scratch up the metal, but don't manage to make it past.
Yeah.
All right.
That is my whole turn.
All right. Left skeleton, the one by Sid,
Mm-hmm.
grabs its enormous great axe and lifts it up over its head and just brings it straight down towards Sid
Mm-hmm. Do it.
for
Don't
a
encourage it.
19 to hit.
For 19 to hit? Yeah, that'll hit.
All right. There you are. Okay. Highs and lows. 17 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
Ouchie mama.
Brings it down and like slices, like hits you in the shoulder, and then you manage to like kind of deflect it so the blade runs down your back.
Okay.
All right. And then that'll bring us to Hannibal. Standing back as you're watching Ilvem on one side and Sid on the other fight these two giant skeletons.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, definitely. For sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna turn to the skeleton over near Sid.
Okay.
And use my control air and water.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, I'm not going to do that, actually. I'm going to just throw another firebolt at it.
Okay.
17 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
Oh, it was a 7, but it rolled to a 1. 1 point of fire damage.
That is the risk with that one. So it just kind of like hits it in the shoulder blade and just kind of like singes it a little bit.
All right. I'm going to use my movement and get right up to it.
Okay. So Sid, Hannibal comes and joins you right there.
Excellent.
All right, and then right skeleton, right up next to Ilvem, is gonna it like blocked your spell with the side of its axe, so it's gonna take it by the hand and swing it sideways around at you for an 8.
Aha!
So it swings it around. You take your little rapier and manage to just like catch it on the back end and then direct it up and over you, so it just swings in an arc and just it passes through your halo, which like disperses for a second before reforming. And then that is its turn, bringing us back at the top of Sid.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna hit this one. I'm gonna slap him.
Okay.
Actually, hey, wait. How close am I to my spear?
About 20 feet.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap him.
Okay.
Okay. 19.
Yep, that is.
Okay. 5 radiant.
Okay.
And Lord, Lord. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna spend my last key and take patient defense.
Okay. So you smack it in the face and then bring your arms up in front of you into a defensive posture.
Yeah.
All right. Drusilla, you're awake on the floor.
You're welcome.
Cool. G bless.
You feel
So
terrible.
it's pretty par for the course right now. So half movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
How far each of the skeletons?
From you right now, 20 feet.
Yeah. Hannibal and Sid have that one. You said they were wearing armor?
Mm-hmm. Like
Is it
pieces
metal?
of brass armor, yeah.
Can I cast heat metal on it?
You can, yes.
I'm going to do that on the one that Ilvem is currently fighting.
Okay. If I remember correctly from my days as Gundar, heat metal does not allow a saving throw until the beginning of their turn.
Mm-hmm.
So how much fire damage does it take?
2d8,
Well,
which is 7 plus 8 is 15.
15? All right. So Drusilla
Nice.
stands up, looks at the one that didn't gore her nearly to death. And then I believe the casting implements are like a piece of metal and a flame.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you take out this little piece of metal and then magically produce flame underneath it and start heating it up. Ilvem, you're standing there. You know, you just managed to not like parry its giant axe with your rapier, and you see the scraps of metal armor that are like pretty much bolted onto its skeleton. It starts to glow this like angry orange red, and you're like, oh no, what now? Before it starts, you can see that like the bones underneath it start to like crack and blacken as it starts to burn into it, and behind you can see a very tired and injured looking Drusilla standing up and just concentrating on the spell and just burning it through its armor.
Thank
Is that your
That's my
turn?
turn.
All
She's
right.
going to stay there.
All right. Ilvem.
I'm just gonna attack with my rapier.
Okay.
Who is feeling good? Who's feeling juicy? Not her. Okay, great. 12.
That just hits.
Aha!
They're real big.
Okay. Haha, 9 points of piercing damage.
Nice. All right. This one is starting to look much less good than it was before. It pretty much looks like you're about to hit, or you're stabbing into it, and it looks like you're about to hit its armor, and you in fact do. However, it's been heated up to the point where your rapier just pierces straight through the hot metal, and you just see sparks fly out into its rib cage as you jam it in deeper into it.
Love that for me.
All right. Anything else on your turn?
Nope. I am saving my last spell slot.
Okay. Sid, the one next to you, raises its axe up and is about to like swing it down at you, and you've got your arms up and ready, and then it turns it and brings it in a sweeping motion sideways straight at Hannibal.
Sentinel, bitch.
Yep. So you get the attack of opportunity, but its attack still goes off, I believe, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I
So
think the only thing that happens is it can't move.
correct.
And that'll be a
So-
17 to hit.
Okay, real quick. 16 against Hannibal?
Yeah.
Okay. So Hannibal takes 19 points of slashing damage. And the 17 does hit it.
Perfect. That'll be 6 points radiant.
Okay. So as it turns away from you, your defensive posture suddenly tenses and you lunge forward and jam those fingers right up like into its side as it turns away from you. You're like, no.
No,
said-
no.
I said
Mom
fight
arm.
You fight me.
Mm-hmm.
Sentinel
Leave.
just Sid mom arming.
Yep. Yep, absolutely.
All right. And then that'll bring us to Hannibal.
Ow, I have 5 hit points.
Uh,
Okay. 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 I understand. I understand completely. I'm going to look at the one in front of me
Mm-hmm.
and ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling, toll the dead.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw?
Yep.
All right. That's gonna fail because it got a 6.
Yeah,
Sick.
so it takes
Fuck it up, Hannibal.
Fuck it up.
1d12.
Fuck it up.
Mhm.
Fuck it up. Fuck it up.
Fuck it
Fuck
Fuck it up.
my
fuck
dice.
it up.
2 necrotic.
Oof.
Ding 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 ding. Like you ring the bell and it like you can see the bones like wither a little bit, but not a whole lot.
This is how it ends. And that's my turn.
Okay, the skeleton on the right. It is going to First of all, it takes fire damage at the beginning of its turn because it can't get the armor off. It is bolted into it, so it's just
Hot.
continuously taking that damage.
Hot.
All right, there it is. Fuck math. Y'all, I'm not good at math. 12.
12. Oof. It is really like smoke has started to curl up from inside of the bones as they start to really like you can see just like places where they're beginning to blacken from the inside and fire starts to shoot out cracks in the bones in it as it
Haha, burn bitch.
it looks around for a minute as this is happening and like towering over Ilvem looks down at Drusilla and
Hey, excited.
and like sees her with the piece of metal and the flame, and it's going to just step around Ilvem. So Ilvem, attack of opportunity as it goes for Drusilla.
Oh no,
Fuck it up.
not again. Not
Fuck it
again.
up. Fuck
Wish
it
I
up.
had Warcaster. Nope.
What'd you get?
I got a natural 5.
Okay, yeah, that does not hit.
Only
So you
takes
tried
me
it-
to a 9.
You try to stab at it, but you like sparks fly as your blade deflects off of one of its burning pieces of armor, and it stomps down towards Drusilla and swings the great axe at her
How about no?
for a 25. God, these dice do not like you. I mean, you're unconscious. Like you have, it has a. Is 13, yeah, it's 21 damage.
Oh.
Back, Drusilla's just back into the ground. All right, that is left skeleton's turn, or sorry, right skeleton's turn. So that makes it Sid's turn. By the way, that one is really not looking good. Like you can see, like it's flames starting to come up out of its bones. However, now that Drusilla is down, the metal plates bolted into it just begin to cool down from like an angry glowing orange down to just back to their normal color.
Tried, y'all. I tried.
Did great.
Okay. How far away from me is Drew?
Drusilla is about, if you're up there, like 50, you know, like about 20 feet away from you.
Okay. Second verse, same as the first. I'm gonna slap the guy in front of me.
Okay.
$12.
Yes, just barely.
Oh, thank God. 7 radiant.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Nice.
9 radiant.
Okay. So you jam your claws up into this one, pulling, like they like go up around and curl in from the back and like grip into it, just slashing at it from the inside, and it's like twitching and like straining against your attacks, and you can see that you're just digging gashes into the bones.
Love it. Wait, do I double the mod or not?
No, modifier does
Okay,
not double.
perfect. Okay, yep.
All right, is that your turn?
Yeah, that's my turn.
All right, Drusilla, death saving throw. However, because you were brought back up, your failure does reset, so you're back to 0 and 0.
Yeah. Love these. I love making them so much. That's a 14.
All right, 1 success. So
Yeah.
you are not dying as much. Ilvem, back to you. The one you were fighting just left you and just went and just.
Yeah, I was just like, what the fuck, dude? I should be like, I'm gonna throw an Eldritch Blast at it.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna bonus action Healing Word Drew.
How did the Eldritch Blast does not go so well?
No, I rolled a 4 this time around.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
So roll that out. Yeah, you just fire past it, and it like moves in a way that the blast passes like straight through its rib cage, like manages to somehow hit nothing.
Yeah, I'm just
Actually,
like,
impressive shot.
fuck.
All right, roll the healing word.
Again, it's just 4 points of healing.
She blessed.
So this time you wake up and the giant skeleton is still standing directly over you.
And I'm just like, it's just like, sorry.
Okay. Anything else from Ilvem?
Yeah, I'm gonna get in melee with it and just kind of like badger it.
Okay, so you come up behind it. That'll make it left skeleton over by Sid and Hannibal. Sid definitely just drew its attention, so it's going to swing the axe over at Sid again.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
For a 10.
Oh, Lord God. There is a God.
You like duck right underneath it as it swings sideways.
On my side.
Actually, no.
Ooh.
You're a monk. You do like a cool back bend, and like the blade passes like right over your face, nearly clips the end of your nose.
I dab.
Yes. With your real arms or with the spirit arms, or both?
Both in
Both arms are
separate
just going
directions.
Separate directions. Amazing. All right.
If we get one piece of fan art, please let it be that moment.
Sid dabbing in
Please,
two
God.
directions at once.
Please, God.
All right, Hannibal. That brings it to you.
Okay. Hannibal is annoyed,
Mm-hmm.
so he is just looking in front of this one and says, "Can you please just die already? Do everyone a favor." Ding-a-ling-a-ling.
All right. It got a 10. No, sorry, a 9.
Fail.
Woo.
10 points of damage.
Ooh.
All right. So it turns and misses Sid, and then you can see like it's almost like the rapid rotting of the bones, as if like the ages suddenly catch up with it, and they start to like wither and decay, and cracks start running up them, and it fills with this like black, gross like stench of rot as parts of it just begin to rapidly decay. And so you just have to take a half step forward as it weakens. All right. Anything else from Hannibal?
No.
Okay. The one between Drusilla and Ilvem. Drusilla has not started moving yet, so it does not seem to have noticed that she is once again conscious. So it turns around and swings the axe at Ilvem. For a 10.
Aha!
Yes.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
Catch it, and like your feet skid sideways on the floor, but your rapier holds. All right.
Insane!
Oh Lord.
Back up with Sid.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna slap it again.
Okay. Both of these are really not looking good. They're both like, you can see they're like drooping, and the bones that they're made up of are like either cracked and burned or rotted.
Okay, that'll be a 19.
That does hit.
That'll be 5 radiant.
Okay.
No, second one's a 10.
Just misses.
Okay.
It can tell that it can't block the arm, so it takes like the haft of its axe and like hits you in the leg as you're swinging, which knocks you off balance, and then your second one goes wide.
Okay.
All right.
That's my turn.
Drusilla.
That's it.
This thing is like right
Towering
there within.
over you, yeah. You are laying down at its feet.
So, Drew's gonna have to move it to stand up again.
Okay. So push
There's
yourself,
deja vu here.
get up to about like its stomach level if it had one.
Oh. And Drew's gonna she's very angry right now, just like.
Mm-hmm.
And then a blade of flame pops up from the top of her quarterstaff.
Okay.
And she's gonna go. They say a way to a man's heart is through the stomach.
Hmm.
She's going through the stomach.
Okay, roll the attack.
Roll the attack. Please God hit. 15.
That does hit.
Woo!
All right, so that is 8 fire damage.
Ah, it's still standing, just barely.
Ah!
You are both down to the single digits.
Ah!
So your flames jet out the top of your quarterstaff, and you swing it upward through it. You catch it like in the leg and then across the chest. You can see the plates that hadn't quite finished cooling like glow again as you catch them, and it's like practically on fire now. Like smoke is billowing off of it, but it is still barely standing.
Why won't you fucking die?
Ilvem, do you have a bonus? Do you have a bonus action?
Casting Flame Blade was.
Oh, okay. Ilvem, your turn.
It is my turn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be like, that was cool. And then just stab with my little rapier.
Okay.
Rapier.
Rapier.
Okay, 16.
That does hit.
Ooh. Take it down. Ilvem, take it
Please.
down.
G bless.
Bring it down.
Please.
Nicholas.
Bring it
5
down.
points of piercing damage.
How much was that?
5.
With one more than you needed, how much?
Woo!
How would you like? Please
Yes!
describe how Ilvem takes down this skeleton.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do like a cool, like a good job nod to Drusilla, and then just kind of like do like a fancy like thrust, like very like fencing, just like straight through the middle of the skull.
All right. So you come up like you find like the gap in the back where like the brainstem comes out. There's like a hole back there. So you take your rapier and you just manage to find that perfectly. Put the point right through there. And Drusilla, you see this minotaur turn into a unicorn for a second as a rapier just stabs out its forehead, and those blue lights flicker and then fade, and the whole thing just collapses as all the bones fall apart, and just like a small tide of bones just clatters down the steps around your ankles.
Heck yeah.
All right. Anything else from Ilvem?
I'm just gonna like do like a kind of like maniacal cackle for a sec, and then like immediately pivot and dart into melee with the second one.
Okay.
I just kind of like badger it as well to be like, haha, I just killed your friend.
All right. You come up with it. You come up to it just in time to see it swinging at Sid.
Yeah.
Like already in mid-swing as you come up.
Yeah.
For a 23.
Yeah, that'll hit. That'll definitely hit.
All right.
Fatality.
Okay.
Please
all right.
stop, Justin.
Only 10 points of slashing
That's
damage.
fine.
Oh my god.
It rolled a 1 and a 5 on the damage.
There you go.
So like it's
We're still alive. We're still here.
it swings its axe like right into your stomach, and it digs in. But you like grab with your real hands and catch it by the haft, and pushing any further in, and like you're bleeding out around it, and you look up at it. You can see like Sid's face is paling from the blood loss, everything, but Sid is still standing.
This is not how I'm gonna go.
Hannibal, your turn.
I'm gonna go, alright, it's time to finish this, everyone. Hit it with my light hammer. Whack.
Okay.
Can you add Bardic Inspiration on attack rolls? I don't remember.
Yes, you can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay.
D6, right?
Yeah.
9 to hit.
That does not hit.
So bonus action, I'll do 2-weapon fighting and swing with
Okay.
my sickle.
Okay.
That's a 13.
That does hit.
Oof.
Roll damage, but no modifier.
4 slashing.
So, Sid, at the beginning of your turn,
Uh-huh.
you and this Minotaur are both facing each other with 1 hit point. Both of you just like barely standing, but you go first. It is your turn.
Oh, boy, you know I'm slapping it.
Please, God.
You just
22 to hit.
That does hit. How do you kill it?
I want to use my arms and grab its skull and bring it down on its own great axe.
Nice. Okay, so it's like you've got the great axe in your stomach with your real hands. You grab the blade and you flip it upwards, and your two ghost hands grab it by the head and just slam its forehead right down into the blade. Before it can pull its blade away, you just cleave its forehead this way and just shatter its skull on its own great axe, and it just falls apart in your hands. And it is dead. You have won.
Oh my god.
Phew.
Yeah, I feel that one.
We did it. I have 5 hit points.
Oh my god.
I'm actually sitting pretty decently at 17.
Oh my
4.
god.
Thanks to my Armor of Agathis, I only lost 10 in that entire
Let's go see what our reward was in
Oh, yeah.
the sarcophagus.
As it falls over, you would hear this top of the sarcophagus just kind of like it's like a rapid clicking sound running along from one end of the lid all the way over to the other.
Hannibal will limp over there.
Okay, yeah, you're all.
Ilvem will not limp over there. Ilvem will walk there very healthily.
Yeah,
Sid's
Ilvem's
gonna
feeling great.
sit down.
All right, you sit down on the stairs.
Drew's gonna.
Your
drop
spear is still like
concentration.
sticking out of one of the sarcophagi.
Sarcophagi.
Yeah.
I'll get it in a minute.
All right. All right. So yeah, Hannibal, you can walk over to that.
Open it up.
Okay, you just push the lid off and just comes off. You can see on the inside of it, there is like a stone relief of a person, kind of like half of a stone statue, like carved into the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And of a person standing, like laying down in, basically like eyes closed with, hands like this with a sword in their hands. The sword is all stone and everything. However, what you see is placed in this sarcophagus, you see 6 gold trade bars. So 6 5-pound bars of gold.
Whew.
Jeez.
As well as kind of like draped around its neck. Like it can't get all the way around it because it's not like it doesn't have a back of its head, but kind of like draped around its head so that it's seated on its neck. You see some kind of amulet.
Ooh.
Me remember what that looks like for a second. Oh yeah, you see an amulet with like almost like an eye-shaped pendant on the end and like an arcane symbol on it. And then there was also that purple gem set into the lid as well.
I call dibs on amulet. You guys can split up everything else.
I feel like that's not fair. We should, as a group, decide who gets what.
But I saw
What does
it.
the amulet do?
I don't know.
Find
just
out
looks
what it
cool.
does, then
I-
we'll decide.
Ah.
Yeah, let's
Yes.
just like collect everything and go get stuff appraised, and then we can sort it out later.
Fine.
I'm gonna get up and go get my spear and use it as a walking stick.
Okay. Takes you a minute. You actually need to use your ghost arm. Like you grab it
Yeah.
with your real arms and you have to like got your foot up against the wall and you're like yanking on it and you cannot get it out because you have like 3 strength right now, I think.
I have 3 strength and 1 hit point,
Yeah,
guys.
it's like not moving up and down even. You're just like, ugh, ugh, and then you're like, oh wait a minute. You brace one spirit arm against the wall, grab it with the other, and just yank out with a wrenching sound. And it comes clean out of the wall.
Perfect.
Yay.
And then you can hand it to yourself, and then you can start hobbling your way over.
Drew will offer to like be under Sid's shoulder, but probably won't be under Sid's shoulder, but like support
Okay.
for Sid.
Drusilla, you are not also feeling you've got like that tender spot in your stomach where a horn had been all the way through you before, and then like a good slash from the last time it knocked you down.
It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine. She's alive. It's fine.
Yeah. You're all alive.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I personally am feeling much better about our chances against some bandits.
Yes.
Honestly, agreed.
Okay.
Now can we please get everything and get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. Hannibal, are you gonna put it in your bag?
Not all of it, that might break, so I put the amulet in my bag of holding.
Okay. And then yeah, there's the 6 trade gold bars, and then there's the gem still set into the stone lid.
How much do the bars weigh roughly?
5 pounds each.
Oof. No,
So they're not like
I'm not
huge.
putting,
They're like,
yeah.
you know.
I'm not putting all of those in my bag of holding.
What's your bag of holding weight limit?
I believe bag of holding. I will tell you in a moment.
Okay, because that's only 30 pounds of.
Oh, it can hold up to 500 pounds.
Yeah, that's only 30 pounds.
I
there.
put everything in my bag of holding then.
Okay, yeah, they're pretty. They're like relatively small. They're like this big for 5 pounds of
I
metal.
thought it
They're
was
heavy.
I thought it was 40 pounds for some reason.
Oh
Right.
yeah,
Then I'll try to pry it. Like you said, it's like still stuck in there, right?
yeah.
I'm just gonna. Do I have daggers? I do. I have 1 dagger. I'm gonna use my dagger to try to like pry it out.
Okay. You also see that it like kind of pokes through into the through the other side of the lid. So like between using daggers to pry around the outside, you can also push from the underside of it.
Yeah.
Manage to pop the gem out. That's like a fist size. Looks like a fist-sized amethyst.
How many bars were there again?
6.
6 5-pound gold bars. Okay.
Mhm.
So 6 5-pound gold bars, eye-shaped amulet, and the fist-sized amethyst.
Yep.
Alright.
Cool.
And
Now
then-
y'all look like you could use some rest.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
maybe.
I don't have any. I'm completely tapped. I have nothing to heal at all.
I start casting mending on everybody's clothes where they've been like pierced or punctured
Okay.
or torn. Start casting mending on everybody.
Okay.
I cast Prestidigitation on Drew to help clean up a lot of the blood from being gored.
Drew, that was nice. It went right through you. Clean.
It was really gross.
Can't say I enjoyed the feeling.
Enjoyed watching it. Now let's please get out of here.
Yes.
All right. So you basically head back to the entrance of the room, and you step out, and you're like at the elevator, which is a weird feeling because you've been walking forever, it seems like, but then you're just back at the entrance.
I like this place. I'd love to do more exploring here and see what else it can do eventually.
I also had a great time, and let me just say, I think we make a pretty great team.
We'll see.
A weak thumbs up from Drew.
All right. You get to the entrance. As soon as you get onto the elevator, that like aperture door shuts behind you, and you can hear clicking and grinding and motion from inside as it seems like it completely resets again.
Very curious to see what else they have in there.
right.
I noticed a seam.
Wait, sorry, what?
I noticed a seam with the bone
Oh, okay.
grinder.
Mm-hmm.
Ilvem's just like obscenely proud of themselves right now.
Good.
That's
They're just like kind of like bopping along, you know, like very clearly like very happy and content with how this all went down.
Nice. Okay. You get to the elevator. There is a bell on it that looks like you can ring.
Cool. I'll ring it.
Okay, you ring it, and then a second later, you hear a motion, and then it groans, and then starts to lift you back up again.
oh,
And it slowly raises back up. Eventually, you see daylight above you, which seems blinding at this point. But you get back up to the surface, and the team of oxen that were working the mechanism stop, and then you see the guards. Like the 2 guards that were standing there on either side see you, and one goes, "Oh, hey, you didn't die. Cool.
no, we conquered it.
Good. This was your first time in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, congratulations. Good work. A lot of first timers die, so it's nice to see people not.
Oh, great.
Did you finish, or did you cut out early?
We finished.
Great. Okay. So you got any cool rewards and stuff? He points around to the shops, and he's like, "There's places to buy stuff, sell stuff, appraise things. Sometimes you get magic items in there. So if you need anything identified, there's a place around here. One of these shops will do that for you as well. So
Cool.
whatever
Which
you need,
one?
Congratulations. So what?
Which one?
He looks around at all the signs. I was thinking for a second. He points to one on the far left side. He's like, I think there's one over there, farther down, there's the sign. I forget the name of it, but it has like looks like fireworks, like sparks on the sign. It's a purple sign at the very end. It's that one.
Cool.
Oh,
Should we go do that before we go to bed? What time is it?
It's like middle of the. I think you guys came here like first thing in the day, didn't you? Oh no,
Mhm.
yeah, you did. You went and you visited the wizard school and everything, and then you came here. So it's like mid-afternoon by this point.
wunderbar.
Yeah, should we do
Yeah.
that first?
Yes.
I mean, yeah, if it's on the way there, might as well.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, so the bone grinder is on one side of a like very large semicircle plaza, and along the curved side of that is just a rows of shops and businesses that cater specifically to adventurers coming to go to the bone grinder. So like weapons and armor shops, blacksmiths, magic shops, alchemists, as well as things like inns, bars, taverns. There's a bathhouse that Hannibal and Drusilla have been to.
Hmm.
All sorts of stuff.
So we go to the place, get these items, well, at least the possible items, figure out what they are,
Yeah.
and then sell anything and figure things out. And then we go deal with those bandits after we have a nice sleep, possibly.
I'm very ready to deal with the bandits after a sleep.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So, you head over to that magic shop.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. So, you make your way over. You're looking along the shops again. You pass by a whole bunch of things like you pass by a blacksmith. You pass by some tailors. Basically, the kind of places that would cater to an adventurer, the kind of people who have a lot of disposable income and need, and want, exciting, fun things to spend it on.
Hmm.
So you
Wow, can't wait until I have disposable income.
I have 421 gold.
You need to spend 1 gold, please. 1 gold, please.
all right. And as you find your way over there, you can see this weathered purple sign sticking out of the front of a building, tucked into one side. Yeah, you can see like almost like it looks like maybe gold leaf inlaid onto the sign to make like the impression of exploding sparks on either side of the name, which is laid in bright green letters that says Axul's Emporium.
Axul's. Axul.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good name, everybody. Walk in.
Okay. You make your way inside, and you can see that it's basically like it's a very small front room that looks like the majority of the shop is in the back. And you can basically see like a teller window at one side, and standing at it, you can see a person made of metal. They appear to be some kind of automaton. You'd think at first it might be a person wearing a suit of armor, but they are in fact head to toe metal. There's no one inside of that, like a combination of metal and wood making them up, just standing there staring straight ahead.
Love it.
Warforged.
Which Warforged did actually not exist until about 15 years ago. There was a war across the sea in which one side, actually a nation of gnomes, created them for one of the sides of the war. They were originally non-sentient. However, the other side of the war did something. It's not really clear exactly what happened, but all of the Warforged at some point in there gained sentience, where they were once basically just mindless automatons doing work. They suddenly gained life and personalities.
Doing? Stop it.
So it became a lot more
Bed.
where previously, oh sorry.
Hi, my dog just peed all over my bed. I gotta go.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
no.
So I have to sign off now because I have to go deal with this.
Okay.
Bye.
That's fun. Okay. our faces might move around a bit. I'll talk while Justin rearranges this.
Yep.
So, basically, where before, it was kind of like, okay, yeah, we can, like, these automatons are great and they're free labor. When then suddenly, like, they gain sentience and they're people now, it's like, not so much anymore. So they have now, like, spread out throughout the world and can be found all over the place. So there's one standing at the teller window, just kind of staring ahead, and turns to see you and says, "Oh, hello there. How can I help you?"
We're looking to get a few items identified. See if they're possibly magic. Just came out of the bone grinder.
All right. Let me go get Master Exul for you.
Fantastic, thank you.
Oh, I thought you were Master Exul. Okay.
Oh, no. My name is Five.
Hello, Five.
Hello. And he, like, swivels at the weight, like, his entire upper body swivels 180 to face backwards.
Nice.
And then, like, you can see him, like, start walking as his legs turn to face that way as well. Like,
I
as he
love
takes a few
him.
steps. And then steps into the back. And then a minute later, you hear movement again as an elderly man, bald head, no facial hair or anything. You actually realize no eyebrows either, with a
Excellent.
completely flat nose and, like, slitted nostrils and bright yellow slitted eyes, steps up into the window, very hunched over, and wearing a pair of very, very soft looking thin leather gloves and comfortable looking, like, robes and a scarf wrapped around him, like, dressed very, very warmly, especially for the weather lately, and steps up to the window and says, "Yes, I am Master Exul. I understand you have something for me to appraise."
Oh, I love this place. I love you. I love your Five. Hello. Yes. And I dump out the amethyst and the amulet.
Okay. So he says, "You would like these appraised, yes?"
Yes, figured out what they are. I think that's the
All right.
plan.
My rates are 50 gold pieces per item appraised.
Okay, 100 gold.
He takes it. He, like, feels it in his hands for a second, and then he nods and then shuffles it away somewhere. He reaches to something behind where you can't see behind the counter and pulls out a set of, like, balancing scales,
Sure.
set inlaid with all sorts of, like, runes and arcane markings all over them. He takes the amethyst and sets it in one of the pans, and then takes a few like, small, faintly glowing blue stone, like, crystals, rough cut, like, not cut, just kind of, like, very rough, cloudy crystals, and he takes them each and he starts placing them in the pan and begins making a few arcane hand movements, and you can see that the scale does not move at all, and he says, this gem has no magical properties. However, he changes things up a little bit, and then you can see a few symbols appear in the air above the stone side, and then, like, the two scale, they begin to balance a little bit. So he adjusts and he says, "However, I can tell you that, roughly speaking, this should be worth approximately," and he pulls out a ledger and checks a few things, 400 gold pieces.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And the amulet, yes?
Yes, please.
And he picks it up, kind of drapes the necklace part of it over the back of his hand, and then gently, like, reverently sets it into the pan. Cast the spell again. The first time, this time, it balances. Like, it actually moves at the first time. He says, "Well, it's definitely magical." And he waves his hand again. Hannibal would be able to tell that basically, at this point, he is casting Identify on it.
Yeah.
And he informs you, this amulet protects against unwanted observation.
Oh, interesting.
Yes, it will prevent others from essentially, it hides you from any sort of divination magic. You cannot be targeted by any spells of divination, or you cannot be perceived through any sort of magical means, such as scrying.
Oh, that's interesting. There actually is one more thing, so here's 50 more gold.
All right.
How much would you say these gold bars are worth? These 6 5-pound gold bars.
Sid, make me an intelligence check.
I am focused on trying not to bleed out. That's a nat 1.
Okay, yeah, you got nothing. Something tugs at your mind as he says that, but you're like, whatever. He takes your 50 gold, and then he takes them and, like, puts them on the scale and everything, but, like, goes through very quickly, and then says, they are worth 250 gold pieces apiece.
Oh, nice.
And he, like, it looks like he doesn't even look at the spell as he gives you that answer.
Insight check.
Go ahead and roll it.
Two minus 1.
No. Maybe he's just really used to casting that spell. He barely needs to look.
Thank you, sir.
You are very welcome. Anything? Is there any other business I can do for you?
Do you sell any magical equipment that could be useful for someone like me? A novice wizard, so to speak.
Well,
Speaking of, can I have my stuff back? Can we have our stuff back, please?
Oh, yeah, he just like left it on the counter in front of
Okay.
you. So yeah, you can hand it back.
Hannibal
Sid would
hands
like-
that amulet to Drusilla.
Okay.
You keep an eye on that.
Put it away.
Okay. It also does not, or no, it does require attunement. Yes. Sorry.
What's that amulet called, by the way, sir?
That is an amulet of proof against detection.
Yes. Do you have any magical equipment that could be useful for a novice wizard in training?
Well,
Any
let me think.
wands, robes, hats, books, rings, necklaces, boots, underwear.
Underwear. He's like, you can see him. He was thinking, and then you got to that one. He was like, huh? Well, Let me think. I'll be right back. Actually, 5. Do we have any wands in the back? Bring them to me. Yes, sir. And you hear 5 clanking off in the back and making his way along.
Wand of wonder, wand of wonder.
And then he says, I understand that you have just... I might understand that you've just made your way successfully through the bone grinder for the first time.
Yes.
Interesting. Well done. Are you intending to return in there whenever?
I think at some point in the future, possibly, when we're not constrained by time and other things we have to do for people.
Well, should you ever need identification again, I hope you will remember to return here for any of your needs, any of your identifying needs.
Of course, I will get right on that, sir.
Wonderful. And then 5 comes up with a bundle of cloth and then lays it out in front of him, and you see 4 wands laid out on the table.
Mm-hmm.
One of them is very, very thin, almost Elder Wand style, where it almost has knuckles,
Excellent.
regular intervals, and then comes to a blue jagged point at one end. The next one is more solid and made of brass, inlaid with it almost has reinforcement running up the side. It almost looks like it could almost work as a small club.
Excellent.
Another one is the best way I can describe it is janky looking. It is the Kylo Ren's lightsaber of wands. It is
Love.
the handle is quickly wrapped in leather, a piece of leather and it's like coming off at one end, and the end of it is some kind of narrow wood, and it's got some kind of like gold wire hastily wrapped up and almost like stapled in a few places to hold it in place. And then you see another one that looks like it's made of hardened vines twisted together into a wand. And he says, he going left to right, he says, this one here is the first one with the blue at the end, is a wand of magic missiles. This next one is a wand of the war mage. And then this one is, well, this is a product of the the university, I believe. Someone sold it to 5 while I wasn't here, and it's I believe it was a student's experiment that went poorly. I don't exactly know what it does. And then this one is a wand of entanglement.
Oh, fuck. The experimental one sounds very fun.
Yes, oh yes, it does. I agree, of course. Yes.
But it could also be a piece of crap.
Well, I keep it in my shop if it was not. Well, I want to return business, so I'll be honest. I'm not quite sure exactly what it does, but it clearly is magical.
You didn't identify it?
Its erratic nature informs me that only that it's some sort of evocation magic. However,
how much do you want for it?
200 gold pieces.
How about, I don't know if you barter, how about 100 gold pieces and 5 stone giant toenails?
Try the alchemists with those. I have no need of them.
What about this book called Karzal's Demonology?
A good read, but I haven't read it myself. But I'm sure I can get a copy for cheaper.
Okay, 200 gold.
All right, thank you. And you have received a failed experiment wand.
Nice.
All right. And then he says, "Would you like any of the rest of them?"
I don't think I can afford any of the other ones.
All right. Well, a pleasure doing business with you.
You as well.
Right. Well, I should get back to the back 5 if they ever need anything else. See to it. And all right. 5 clanks his way back up and places his hands on the edge of the counter and just kind of stares straight ahead at you as Master Axul makes his way back into the shop behind him, moving around a couple different like sets of shelves and things in the back, going out of sight.
So guys, do you have anything you want to do?
5, was it?
Yes.
Do you happen to have anything that increases one's protection without having to wear armor?
Oh, yes. I will return shortly. And he goes back into the back, and then a moment later returns with a small ring box and sets it down on the counter.
Ooh, nice.
I believe this should do it.
And what exactly does it do?
Exactly as you said. Increases your protectiveness.
And how much?
Oh. You can see him like think for a second, staring off into space, and then his eyes return to you. 600 gold pieces.
Sid, if you want that, I think we could give them some of these gold bars, maybe?
I think perhaps I will think on it and come back another day. Thank
Alright.
you, 5, for your assistance.
Pulls it back through the window.
Anything else for either of you, or can we get going?
5.
Yes.
Hopefully this is not a rude question, but how were you made?
The process of construction is a closely guarded secret by the gnome artificers of Zarkos Deep.
Zarkos Deep. Okay, thank you. I'm an artificer, so okay, thank you.
You are welcome.
I want one so bad.
I need to go lay down. Sid's gonna sort of wave. Thank you again, 5, for your assistance. And Sid's gonna just kind of hobble out.
Uh,
Have a
Still
lovely
clutching
day.
the open wound.
Thank you, 5.
You're welcome.
Drew's gonna hang back and go up to 5 and just be like, hey, that ring that
Yes.
my friend wanted, she's gonna slide 600 gold across. the thing.
Drusilla has.
It's
Oh,
like-
that's right. You guys got paid.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
pulls it back up and slides it back across the counter to you. There you are.
thank you. She's gonna put it in her pocket and then thank you and leave.
Okay. You have bought a ring of protection +1.
Figure.
Sick.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, Zid, I just said sick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hannibal's gonna like kind of go down an alleyway a little bit
Okay.
and look for like a piece of like trash, like a garbage, whatever they have for the garbages.
Okay.
I'm gonna take out the wand and I go, I wonder what this does. Huh!
How close is that piece of trash to you?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, like, how close do you stand to it when you wave the wand?
30 feet.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Roll me a d20.
Oh my
Ruh-roh.
God.
11.
Okay. So you point the wand forward. You can see like energy runs up along the wire on it until it gathers at the top into a green bead of energy that shoots forward. And you said you were 30 feet away?
Yeah.
Let me just check the radius on this spell real
Cool.
quick. Okay. And it hits the piece of trash, and then there's just a as it erupts into a ball of green flame that stops 10 feet from you.
Ah!
And like the buildings on either side luckily are stone, as like bits of trash and everything just light on green fire in this alleyway.
I smile maniacally,
Okay.
put the wand in my coat pocket,
Okay.
turn around and leave the alleyway and meet up with the others.
All right. I will tell you what it does, because you just tested it. It has 2 charges.
Okay.
It expends them. It regains them both at the next dawn.
Mm-hmm.
It is a 50-50 chance of casting a green fireball or a green lightning bolt.
Ooh.
You
That's
find
pretty
out
sick.
which one when you cast it.
2 charges. Okay.
And you don't you aim for both and you find out which one it's going to be.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I join up with the others and go, this wand is amazing.
Okay. Burning trash just in the alleyway behind you.
I'm going to
Mood.
call this wand. I don't know.
Okay. Where to now?
Back to the onyx.
Bed.
All right.
For that
You may
long
slowly
rest.
hobble your way across town. Ilvem keeps reminding you all that they're feeling fine.
I cast silence, but I don't have it.
Yeah. You make your way across town, and it's starting to the sun is starting to set by the time you make your way over, because you're going very, very slowly. And you make your way back into the Onyx Cat just as the beginning of the dinner crowd is starting to get in.
Fantastic. Sid's going to immediately head up to the room.
Yep. same.
Okay.
Same.
All right. So you all just head up to the room, go back, lay down. I'm guessing just immediately goes just lay down and rest.
Yeah.
wraps up the wound a bit first, and then passes out promptly.
Okay, so you're all going to bed at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
Drew
It's
will
a bit-
stay up. Drew's
Okay.
staying up. She's got some shit she wants to do.
I'm pretty sure Ilvem would go and be like, "You guys are boring," and then go down and hang out in the bar.
Probably. That.
Yep.
Most likely.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, and Drusilla, you have you have the new amulet that you've been told will protect against, shield you from any sort of scrying or detection spells.
Fun. Does she attune to it? That's a good question. She'll attune at the end of the
Okay.
night when she's finished everything else.
Okay. So the end of the night, as you rest, you finally attune to it. You sit there with it for an hour, and then as you put it on, you know that feeling of being watched? Like that slight, like back of your neck, slight bit of a discomfort of like, you know, someone's watching you. For what you think might be the first time in your life, you realize that you don't have that feeling.
Gross.
Interesting.
Like,
Big yikesing.
especially because of what you found out in that with Master Varo in that detection room, you're pretty sure all three of those things pointed at you suddenly all just get blocked off.
That's fine. Is Sid's door open?
Yeah.
I'd also like to mention very briefly, that item was rolled for randomly in the bone grinder. I did not pick that intentionally. That just happened to work out.
Oh, that's so good.
Okay.
The dice tell a story.
There is a god.
And he
Is there
rolls
like a
narratively.
bedside table in Sid's room?
Yeah.
Drusilla's gonna sneak in while Sid's asleep and just leave the ring in the ring box open by Sid's bed on the bedside table,
Okay.
and then just sneak out. And then she's gonna finish her flower crown, which she's gonna put the blue flower that Aja gave her in the goodbye letter,
Mm-hmm.
and she's just gonna kind of put it kind of front and center on this side.
Okay.
And then it's finished.
Okay. Do you have the druid cantrip?
Mhm.
Okay. So one of the things that you can do with that, because like the flower is, you know, it's a cut flower, but one of the things you can do with druidcraft is if you cast it like once a day on it, basically, you can keep all of the flowers on the flower crown looking like still alive and vibrant and not just like wilt.
I mean, that would be a mood, but we're not gonna do that.
Yeah, you know,
We're gonna cast
keeping
druid
Aja's
crown.
gift alive and in bloom.
Yeah, we're gonna do
You
that.
could even
Okay.
make a cabbage crown.
I'm not gonna make a cabbage crown.
Just take a cabbage, cut a hole in it, and put it on your head.
Yeah. Cabbage crown.
Cabbage crown. And then that'll be Drew's night.
Okay. You all wake up the next morning. Hannibal, did you just go and pass out?
I did.
Okay. You all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Yeah.
You're all feeling way better in the morning. Still a little sore, still a little tender in some places, but like you're feeling up to it again. You're feeling like, okay, I can go out and not die.
Yay.
And the
Not
strength
dead.
drain comes
Strength
back.
drain is gone.
Ooh.
You get your strength back.
Bless.
Back to 9.
Back to 14.
11. Am I stronger than Sid?
Sid is very, very quick and not very strong.
Monk.
Monk.
Okay. So you have the day ahead of you. We'll be ending shortly just so we don't leave Ilvem out of too much and just in case Ilvem wanted to do anything in that night. But you guys can plan out your next move, plan out your next day before we finish for the week.
I bring back Abacus, my familiar.
Oh yeah.
The fruit
Giant bat.
Yeah, the flying
Yeah.
fox.
I'm just picturing the bat from Fern Gully.
I love him.
Love.
Never seen it.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Is he voiced by Robin Williams?
I don't know.
Yes.
no.
And
feel like
Also
that's
the
true.
bat from Anastasia. That could be
No,
another
that's
good-
much smaller.
Ah,
So,
Oh,
I
little
love him
chipmunk.
though.
Yes.
so friends. Hello, everyone. I'm in the dining area now. Hello, it's me, Hannibal.
Sid's gonna get up and see the ring and put it on.
Okay. Let me see. Does it require attunement? I think it might. Oops. Yes, requires attunement. So you can spend an hour in the like as you're eating breakfast and everything, putting it on and attuning to it, and it gives you a +1 to your AC.
Cool. Sid's gonna
Oh,
probably get up really slowly, sort of like take that hour
Mm-hmm.
and then leave the room, and he's gonna sort of like hold up his hand like, who did this?
not me.
And then Drew's gonna pop open her door and come out with her flower crown on. So I will just slide out of frame. Dramatic reveal.
Yes. Give us that
Dramatic
flower
reveal.
crown.
Sod it.
Yeah, love it. Yes.
Nice.
So
Also, sorry, the ring, the top part of the ring looks like a gem-encrusted kite shield, by the way.
ooh,
Yo, that's so
nice.
sick.
At the end of my long rest, though, I would have ended the returning infusion on my light hammer, because I'm noticing
Okay.
I'm not really using it that much.
Okay.
And I'll be picking a new infusion,
All right.
which I don't know what it'll be yet.
All right.
Yes, I do know. I'll be putting enhanced defense on the armor I'm wearing.
Okay.
So, so make my armor a little bit better.
Very nice.
Sid, knowing that Drew stayed behind a bit
Mm-hmm.
at the shop, as soon as Drew leaves her bedroom, he's going to walk over and hug her. It's quick, but it happens.
Just very shocked, like,
He's just,
okay.
thank you. And then he's gonna go get, like, I don't know, a croissant if they brought food to the room again.
Yep. Yeah. Food is there again.
Yeah, croissant.
Croissant.
That is the name of my wand. No.
That's the activation word.
Croissant.
Croissant.
Pointed.
It has to be the, it has to be the hard, like, you know?
Croissant.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Never list it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fire and lightning bolt, both bright green when they come out. By the way.
Good. That's such an
You
aesthetic.
guys want to see what my wand does?
No, I didn't hear.
Well, good
yeah,
idea.
Not in here.
Light the building on
We
fire.
will use it when we're dealing with
Either
the
way.
bandits.
Agreed.
Good idea.
Do we know where they are? Where we're supposed to look? Do we have
I
any
believe
sort of
Master
game
Varo
plan?
gave me the sort of area coordinates.
Yeah, he gave you directions to the woods outside town, about a day's walk away,
Woods outside of town, days walk away.
and like the general vicinity of where they are. Is
I
what
have
you
the
know.
general vicinity given to me by Master Varo.
All right. Well, unless anyone has anything else they'd like to do, I'm gonna deal with bandits today.
Okay.
All right. And then in that case, in the interest of not leaving Ilvem behind for too much, that is where we're going to end for the week. And again, I'll be out of town next week,
Yeah.
taking children to Fresno.
How dare?
I know.
How dare. You're going to abandon these children for those children?
I was like, I'm chaperoning like 30 some of them, so like, just kind of numbers wise. But yeah, I'm sorry.
D&D is always top priority. How
That's
dare?
true.
Yeah.
That's true.
We make enough chaos for like 40 kids.
It's really true. Yeah. Disaster siblings is an apt name.
I have like 2 pets technically.
Mm.
Yeah, share, please.
Get Drew
Says
a
the
raccoon.
druid.
Get Drew the raccoon.
I mean, just like
Raccoon
go
for
out into an
Drew.
alleyway and like cast speak with animals and just like look around for one digging through the trash.
I would if Hannibal would stop setting trash on fire.
Oh,
He does
man.
not set all the trash
There
in the
could-
city on fire.
The raccoon you wanted was in that alleyway. And now
No.
No! Don't say
The raccoon's gonna
Drusilla, I
try-
brought you a raccoon.
Oh no, no. We call him Smokey.
This is bad fun.
And I am the bandit.
Spend 10,000 gold casting resurrection on it.
You joke, but I would.
Oof.
I would.
What happens if you cast reincarnate on an animal?
Hmm.
And it
Can
comes
you?
back as a person.
Oh, now I'm curious if you
Oh.
can.
Oh yeah, actually, hang on.
Yikes! It comes back as a person.
Pulling it up right now. I think it has to be humanoid.
Yep, dead humanoid. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
man, I
Does
would
not work on
totally
animals.
cast
That'd be
reincarnate on a ancient green dragon.
But only has well. No, yeah, it has to be a humanoid, which is a creature type. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that
Love.
stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. We still have an audience. Thank you, everybody,
Thank you.
for joining us again for another adventure of the Disaster Siblings. We'll be back in 2 weeks as they go and deal with this group of bandits in the woods. Some classic low-level adventuring.
Heck yeah.
Go and see if they can retrieve a caravan of items, including some magic, that were pilfered by these bandits and stolen, including, as Master Faro described, a ring that he has not been able to identify. It is a ring that was did he describe it? I'm trying to. I don't want to give stuff away if I haven't described it.
I
Did
don't
he
remember, so I'll say no.
I think he did not describe the ring, but he said all he told you was that it was it was created in an interesting way and therefore has been difficult to identify. So he does not know exactly what it does. He did tell you though that he's pretty sure that it will need experimentation in order to identify. It's not going to be magically identified. It's just going to need to be attempted to be used to figure out what it does. So he's going to need someone to be a guinea pig for it.
I guess it'll be me.
Well, you have to get it back first. So that is what we'll be coming back to in 2 weeks.
Woo!
And again, thank you, chat, for being so active. We have so much talking here. I'm so happy.
Yes.
Thank you, chat.
Thank you
I
for
love
encouraging the party. Thank you for encouraging the party as they got nearly killed by minotaurs.
We needed it.
Twice.
Hey.
It was a close fight, but they did it.
Left that with 3 strength and 1 HP. What's good?
Nice.
It
All right.
got fucked, yo.
Ooh, boy.
All right.
2
And
hours
with that-
Minotaur.
No.
Episode title?
No. No. No.
Put those words back in your mouth is the episode title.
Vibe
No, episode
check.
title. Episode title.
Vibe check.
Episode title should just be: Is Hannibal the buff one?
Mhm.
Right?
How? I have
How
8 wisdom.
is the
I have
wizard
8 wisdom.
strong?
8 wisdom.
Yeah, I played a muscle wizard before.
Muscle
Hannibal
wizards.
is secretly a jock. No.
Oh
Hannibal is secretly a Travis Willingham.
Oh no.
Fair. I will accept that one. Not drunk.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Have a
See
good
you.
rest of your week. I'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
And we'll see you later tonight at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Descent into Avernus.
And actually, I will see you on Wednesday.
And we'll see you on
I'll
Wednesday.
see you on
for
Thursday.
Hearts of Madness, and then Beneath the Tide, episode 44. So
Woo.
bye, everyone.
Farewell.
Maybe Sam will be playing 2-player characters. Let's see what happens.